Right, big up to everybody. We are back again and wait for people to actually come in and we'll see how that goes. Just watching the Bournemouth Chelsea game. Oh, save the penalty. Right, okay. So, yeah, right, okay. So, basically, I'm going to say I've got hold of this guy and because over the next few weeks, I probably won't be able to get hold of him because he'll probably surpass me and have like 1 million subs or something like that, and probably look at me and go, I remember you. Get away from me, peasant," and all that kind of thing. No, it's Arsenal X-rated Aaron, and yeah, big up Aaron. How you doing,
Yeah,
bro?
very good, mate. Always an absolute pleasure. And let's
Yeah.
get one thing right, mate. I'll never be too big to say hello to you, bud. Anytime, mate. Anytime. My absolute pleasure.
Yeah, nice one, mate. It's always good to have the dwellers on when they're about to start their channels and stuff like that, which I think you're going to do absolutely fantastic on as well. Well, one thing I will say though, mate, you look a bit like Tommy Robinson. You're not going to get arrested halfway through the game, are you?
Well, yeah, I hope I don't get the front door kicked in or something like that. That wouldn't be good, would it?
No, not really. It won't be a very good look. Big up, Carl Rossi. How you doing? I tell you what, the hardest part about it is kind of keeping up with the chat when you've got a guest, But you just sort of shut off to do that. I don't do it when I'm watching Forest because I'm like that ingrained into it. I just kind of take note of that instead. But
Different when you're
yeah,
watching your own team, I guess, though, isn't it?
that's what I mean. You can't not do that, to be honest. So, I mean, it's just one of those things, isn't it? And I mean, talking about Forest, what a fucking result! What a result!
You must be absolutely chuffed with that.
Oh,
Not
loving
an
it,
easy
mate.
thing, is it? Beating Liverpool at Anfield, even if
Nope.
they've got this new regime or whatever, it's still a massive, massive, massive 3 points. They're almost sort of the ones where you look at, with no disrespect, obviously, to Forest, but you look at and you think these aren't the 3 points that we expect when we want to either stay up, which you shouldn't be in a relegation battle. It's not what I'm leaning to, but when you want to collect points and try and finish as high as you can, there's sort of the games where you think Liverpool, Anfield, perhaps not so much. It's 3 extra points, isn't it? At the end of the day, they're massive, massive, massive points. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind winning 1-0 there. I can't even remember.
It's huge.
2012.
It's absolutely huge because it's Liverpool, and I've just watched like a few streams of theirs. Apparently, they didn't play very well. Nothing to do with the fact that we didn't allow them to play very well, and shut down their threats. Because any team, if you shut down their threats, you then get to take over the game. But a lot of people don't really see it like that,
Yeah, nice. Yes. Madness, but yeah, I'm double happy for you, mate. Do you know what I mean? Double happy for you. A great little victory.
Mate, 69. 1969 was the last time we beat them at Anfield.
Mate, that is what's that? What must be 40, 50 years or whatever. I think we was 2012. I think it was a league when I think we'd just signed Podolski and Santi Cazorla. I'm sure them two. I think we nicked it 2-0 or something like that. I remember the kit was like I think it was like a blue and dark blue sort of stripes going across.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Long time ago. Yeah, a long time ago. I had less wrinkles on my bloody forehead. Do you know what I mean?
Don't talk to me about wrinkles on my forehead, mate. I mean, I'm trying to eat that fucking chicken. Drop the fucker on the floor, So, if you, it's the rule, isn't it? It's 2-second rule. If you pick it up
extra
before
seasoning,
it stays
mate.
on the floor.
Extra seasoning, it. Bit of cat hair never went amiss, did it? You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's all good. I mean, I'll be sick tomorrow. Carl says, please, sir, can I have some more? And Mama Flossie, at last, big up Mama Flossie. Hope you're having a great time. I'm still not subbing. No, I don't want your subs anyway. 8 people in the chat. Show yourselves. Don't be fucking lurking, says Cole. Evening, Cole. I'm hiding. And always lurkers to watch out for. Yeah, you have to watch out for your lurkers, mate. These two are spot on. These two are absolutely spot on.
What's lurkers? What do you mean? Just the ones that hang about and don't sub?
Yeah, people that
Yeah.
sort of, you can see that you've got like people, but they're not actually speaking in chat, like stalkers type of thing. I mean, if there's any hot women doing it, then knock on the door, man. I'm sure I can end the stream right now. So
No, leave it
we'll
on,
do
mate. We all want to watch that, mate. Leave it on.
What? I know you're X-rated, mate, but I ain't going to be leaving it on so you can see my fat ass going upside down, up and down. I mean, I'm on lurker alert, lurker alert, lurker alert. Gamble your head, man. Oh, oi, didn't start yeti. Oh, days. So yeah, you always get that kind of thing. Are you watching the game now?
I am. It's on, but I don't know whether I'm in front or behind you. I'm definitely not on normal live time. I'm not on like 44 minutes, something like that.
Well, you're ahead of me. I'm on Sky, and it's just hitting 44 now.
I'm on 44:10. I don't mind having a little pause, so we're in a little bit of sync.
Yeah, can do if you don't mind.
Have a little go, yeah, because I don't want to obviously ruin it for you. Do you know what I mean?
Always works better like that.
Yeah, there you go. I'll have a little pause. What minute you at, mate? Like with seconds?
44:23 now.
Oh, we're good. Yeah, we are good.
Yeah, awesome.
Absolutely good, mate.
So you're looking forward to tomorrow then?
Yeah. No, I am. To be fair, it's like one of them. Like when you get them little like nervy sort of like stomachy sort of thing. But it's good. You know what I mean? It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's because I'm excited. Like, I don't really like waiting for things either, and it's sort of been a little bit of time coming. And it's like one of them things I'd said to Jed. I was like, yes, in about a week's time or whatever. And I just hate waiting for it. Do you know what I mean? I want it now, but because it's international football and England are fucking shit.
Yeah, that was bad timing, wasn't it?
It's painful, isn't it? So I just thought, you know what, I would rather do sort of the North London because it's a big game. Do you know what I mean? It's the game for us. Trying to have another little hat trick of wins in a row at the shithole. Do you know what I mean? I thought, it just felt right to do it, but I'm just so bloody impatient with it. But yeah, it's all good.
I agree with what you're saying. As soon as you decide you're going to do it, you just want to get on with it and just sort of like get it done. Because the first time is always the toughest time. I mean, I started out by sort of doing videos. I think I was on somebody's show, and that was the first time I was actually live. And then after that, I mean, I've been on Twitch for years anyway, but so I'd always done it, but I'd never been on cam. It was the first time sort of being on cam, so that was quite different. But as soon as you get over that first time, it's fucking fine. It's just easy.
It's more like when I sort of say like the good nerves or whatever, it's more because I don't really know much about computers. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. I just don't want to start getting frustrated with the buttons. You know what I mean? And it just looking like shit because I don't know what I'm doing. Pressing, like we said earlier, pressing the wrong button and being on mute. Do you know what I mean? Waffling on for about 5 minutes to myself. It's one of them things. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get there. It will all come when I do it. It's like the experience. You know what I mean? You can't do it without doing it. You can't buy experience, can you? Do you know what I mean?
Nah. Exactly. You've just got to do it and you go. And then as soon as you do it for a few times, it's like it becomes, you'll get to the point where it's like, oh, I want to go live. I want to go live now. And you'll be doing random stuff where you just keep going live all the time. Carl says Tom Hardy body double is our Aaron.
Cool. I wish.
No homo, he says. I forgot to hit the like. Mama, you don't hit the like. You don't sub. What good are you, really? Seriously. Carl, I shall quietly return to the closet. Just flaunt it. And Yeto, Mama's typoing, so he must be having a good time. Yeto looking like the hooded claw or the evil monk. I think more the Grim Reaper, to be honest. Yeto. I shall leave now, Carl. No good whatsoever.
Or
So
he's
yeah, it's just basically a matter of sort of getting used to it and just going. I don't know if like the best way is to like be on a different show the first time, because I find it sort of the reason I don't really go on to like other shows and stuff like that. I'm just not keen on it, to be honest. I'm just not keen on it. I prefer to just stay in here and do my own thing and invite people in, sort of thing. You know?
it's a comfort zone, isn't it? Sort of thing, you know.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's
And because
pretty
it's your
much it.
channel, yeah, that's it. Because it's your channel, you know, you don't really have to do anything else. You just do what you bloody well
Of course
want,
you do.
didn't you?
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to it more than sort
Mhm.
of anything. You know, that aspect of just being right. I'll structure it, do it, say what I want. You know what I mean? There's no thinking
Yeah.
about other people. You know, because I don't. You know, I can't really give a fuck a lot of the time, but you know, I am considerate to other people, especially the ones that I like. You know what I mean? I'm not,
Yeah, same here. Yeah, exactly the same as me, man. I mean, I'm considerate to people that I like. I'm very inconsiderate to people I don't. And if anybody comes in and starts giving it some, then I will 100% clap back. And it's just the way I am. It's the way I've always been. And you need to come up with something good, otherwise you're not going to have a good time. Man, I'm off my face on my meds, says Mama Flossie. And Si says, blimey, good off all over him for 20, but they came into it, needed that pen, typical not taking chances. Yeah, I think it's been pretty much a decent game from you guys. Good shot from what's his face? Oh, fuck's sake, what's his
Jackson,
name?
was it?
No, the Bournemouth guy.
Oh, right. Oh, what
Used to
was
play
that?
for
Just before half
Rangers.
time.
Can't remember his name. Hit the crossbar anyway. But
Yeah.
big up, matey, and Tom Hardy's channel. Big up, Cole, putting his link into there. Make sure you get over and watch this guy tomorrow. This guy, that guy, wherever he is. Hey, folks, big up yourselves and lol, Cole. So yeah, I mean, I think so far today has been good. Obviously, on my point. I mean,
Right.
on your point tomorrow. I mean, what are you thinking?
I don't know, you know, the last sort of two games, the last two seasons we've sort of played Spurs, I've really been confident, you know, like I've been showing a bit of chest to me Spurs mates, you know, and really, really, really confident we were going to absolutely roll them over. I haven't got that this time round. I don't really know why. It's not as if it's been a horrendous start, you know, 7 from 9. The Brighton game was the one that's really put the sour sort of taste in your mouth. You know, the Declan Rice. All right, it was stupid. You know, a bit sort of silly from the ref, but he don't have to do that, does he, Rice? You know, and it's really sort of set us back for tomorrow's game. And obviously, you know, he's a great CDM. But more importantly, we destroyed Spurs on the corners last season. I think we got two of them. I think on the corners. I'm fairly certain the assists, and he's not there for that. You know, and we can't cross a ball to save our life here. Anyone else, they barely beat the best man. You know, when you're sort of losing that, it's another sort of stringing your bow gone. You know, you're losing your middle of the park, and we've not been good at all. And I mean, we've been absolutely pants to watch. And you know, you're losing that sort of asset. We've been relying on the old set pieces to get us points, and with him sort of gone, you know, it's just I don't know. It's just I'm not confident. I don't know why. I wish I was, but I'm just not yet. What do I think the score might be? A draw, you know, like I'm thinking a 2-2. I think we'll score, but I'm dreading, you know, them having like a proper game of their lives while we're sort of in this sort of there just seems to be a bit of a negative feel around the club. And it's the window as well hasn't massively helped whatsoever. You know, last year you think we was coming into the season having signed Rice, spent 100 mil on him or whatever. You know, I know we signed that Havertz, but you know, we signed Rice. Everyone was a bit buzzing about it. You know what I mean? There was a good feel about the club. We started okay-ish, if I can sort of remember. But whereas like now, I don't know, the Sterling, Edu, you won't be
Sterling's
disappointed.
not a bad one though, really, because I mean Sterling, he's not costing you anything. It's costing Chelsea, so I get it in that respect. The thing I didn't get about it is it's like another person that could be in front of Trossard, and that to me was where it was wrong, because it's like, if you listen to the way Arteta talks about Sterling, he's gonna want to play him a lot, isn't he? So that means Trossard sits on the bench again. Although I do think he is a better player coming off the bench, but seeing what I saw today, what Jorginho was saying about the players you've got out, that's pretty fucking big, to be fair.
I mean, you're absolutely right. You know, to have Rice and Odegaard out, it is, it is a little bit of a miss. But the thing is we've spent a lot of dough over the last couple, 2, 3, 4 years, however long. We should be able to go, all right, no problem. When De Bruyne's out injured, they're like, oh, we'll just have Foden in there. No problem.
Yeah.
Rodri ain't barely kicked a ball yet. That's all right. We've got Gundogan and, they've got a squad. Surely, how can we be going, oh, maybe we'll have to start even Nwaneri? Why do we have to be starting 17-year-old kids when we've been spending 700-800 million?
It's a bit much, isn't it?
What's going on? And with the Sterling thing, do you know what? I wouldn't so much mind that signing if it was after signing a Gyökeres, or a striker, and then maybe another midfielder. I can't think what his name is. I think it's Fofana. He went to AC Milan for peanuts, like 17 or 20 mil or something. I thought it'd have been great. Jorginho and Partey are leaving at the end of next season. They've only got a year left. Would have been fantastic getting him in and, just bleeding him in through for the year. So when them two go, he knows the team. It just made sense for me. But I don't know. Yeah, it wouldn't have been so bad. Like I said, if we'd have had a proper good window and then Sterling, I'd have went, all right, I understand it. Do you know what I mean? He's maybe, a bit better than Nelson. But we just see if we can get that Man City Sterling, wicked. Absolutely wicked.
Yeah.
And I want him to prove me wrong. I don't want him to do bad in an Arsenal shirt. Of course I don't. The better he is, the better the club is, the better my mental health is. Do you know what I mean? Because they can seriously.
Yeah, do you not think the only thing that I would have to say about Sterling though is I find him a bit greedy a lot of the times, and that's where I don't really see he fits with Arteta, because Arteta's style is like pass, score, or whatever, and I just find him a little bit greedy at times, and he'll lose the ball and he'll lose the control and give the ball to the opposition, and most of the opposition, Spurs might not be too bad because they'll be more on the front foot, but I don't really think you'll lose tomorrow. After seeing what I saw today with the players you've actually got out, that's pretty fucking massive. And most of them are on your left-hand side as well. Calafiori, Timber, it is quite big. And obviously Odegaard and Nwaneri, he could be a good player in the future. But like you said, do you really want to chuck a 17-year-old in the middle of a North London derby?
Well, you think as well, right? Our week isn't, just this North London derby. It's, I think, is it Atlanta away and then Man City away?
It's not good, is it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I'm really all for this, giving these kids minutes and things like that. But these aren't the games, they're not. And if he is to start or come on and do anything, I'd love him to do well. Do you know what I mean? It's a good little experience for him. But this is Arsenal, Tottenham, Arsenal, Man City. We need to win. Why are we possibly leaving ourselves so short? Where it's like, well, we'll try the kids. We'll fetch a kid. He's had 14 minutes of football, Premier League football in his career, and you're sending him into a North London derby and then the champions in a row, Man City.
It can go one way or the other. To be honest, it could go one way where he's like, man, this guy's the next big thing, which is probably a lot of top gooners will say if he does one pass right, to be fair. Yeah. Or it can go the opposite way as well. And I think one of the big things that you've got to worry about this season is last season, I was saying it before, basically you got away with injuries and everything. I mean, look at the shitload you've got already. And then just the suspension as well. And you ain't got the depth. And before, Arsenal was always a team that basically had a lot of youngsters ready to just fit in. And I just don't think he's ever really gone there. I wonder if the ownership have told him that he needs to kind of start looking there, because he's never looked there before. And now all of a sudden they're on the bench. Skelly, whatever his name, I don't know off of them, to be quite honest with you.
I'm not great at pronouncing.
I don't know. I mean, hopefully, one year he comes on and he has an absolute blinder and he does become that player. Just let me clear this chat. The horrendous start was 4 years ago, appointing both Mikel and Edu. Yeah, don't blame me on that one, mate. Carl says, therapy comment. I fully checked out from Arsenal. Q fake fan comments. The second I detect corporate identity shift over passion and success with something, I'm out. Cole's spot on. He always is spot on.
Always.
And he hates talking about the Arsenal thing, to be quite honest, because there's so many dickheads out there. And he knows I don't think he's one of them. And I know you're not one of them. There is a few. I'm not going to mention names. But fair, like Carl, like I always say, I feel for you as a mate, but it's great to watch from here. Well, yeah, and then I can take on Si's point of view as well, because as where we are, you know, we get a lot of shit. We get a lot of, oh, it's only for us, oh, fucking beat them and all this, that, and the other. Which is why we're enjoying this, what's happened today. Of course, it's 69 years. So obviously we're going to enjoy it. He knocked me to the floor today, play fighting, big lump, doesn't know his own 50k strength. Getting off of kicking the shit out of Cole. And he's just the best, that Cole Rossi. So I totally get you, mate. If I weren't an Arsenal fan, I want us relegated from our carry on. And he's 7 now, starting to get the large dog anxiety of short lifespan. Oh dear. Here's Fur and Elfie and here for Mama. Are you drinking? Yeah, you okay, Carl? You're okay, Carl. Just keep on an eye. But yeah, I mean, it's like I think it's the best way to start your channel, and then a NLD, reaction thing. I don't think you can have any better than that. I just hope it goes all right for you and it's not like a loss. But then again, if it is, you can keep it real and say exactly what you think, so that'll come across as well.
I will, mate. Yeah, let's get it right. I mean, even if they draw, because like I said, I know I'm not confident, but that doesn't mean to say it's not going to work. Do you know what I mean? If we don't win, I expect to win. I expect us to beat them all the time, you know. But I don't know. Yes, it's just a tricky one. I wish I didn't feel like it. I think it's just there's just been a negative atmosphere around the club, you know, like I was sort of alluding to before about the transfer window, you know, about the result against Brighton, not good enough. You want to be champions, you know, you got to be winning these games. Let's get that right. Brighton at home, 3 points. Has to be 3 points, especially, you know, when you've got Tottenham, Man City coming up. All right.
Yeah.
You know, if you win that game at Brighton, you think, draw one of them. It ain't horrendous. You know, you can't be affording Man City too many points head start.
No.
It's hard enough to beat them. You know what I mean? From level, at the start of the season. Do you know what I mean? Let alone 4 or 5
well,
games.
Who can you see that's going to take points off Manchester City? I mean, I don't know who they've got next. Maybe. Oh no, it's you guys, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be. Yeah, of course it is. They play today. Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's 2 major games. That is
at their ground as well. Yeah. So
that's where you've got to get it back, then, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, they'd be sort of expecting to beat us 100%. Man City. They'll look at the way Arsenal started and go, yeah, we'll have them. They're winning games and they're not even in third gear really. Like they just know they know how to win, don't they? They're winners. Don't matter.
They look brilliant. They look really good as well.
Yeah. It's just they're just coasting through it. And the worrying sort of thing is you know, you had this pivotal window, this transfer window. I felt was such a pivotal window because Man City didn't spend loads. They signed well with Savinho, Gundogan coming back, fantastic strike, fantastic replacement of Gundogan. I just thought, you know, this is the window. This is where go out, get your striker, go out, beef up your midfield. You know, really, really have a go at them and make them look over and go, wow, Arsenal's just signed so and so. Wow, Arsenal.
Yeah.
They mean it, don't they? All the fans then start going, yeah, they mean actual business, but they haven't, have they? You know, we just stood there and we just let it pass us by the window. And I just think in years to come, well, we won't even remember it, this period, the Arteta period, if you don't win anything. Let's get that right. It'll be totally forgotten. You you know, we'll look back at this in however long years and go, do you know what? We proper ballsed up that summer, like the Peter Cech window. I think that Peter Cech window I might be wrong. Someone might have to correct me in the chat. But I think was that when Leicester won it. It was there or thereabouts.
I think, yeah, I think it was
something like that. And you sit there and think, you know, I think we finished second that year, and you know, we signed Peter Cech and no one else. What are we doing? Every time we just get nearly, you know, we're close, we're on the verge. Their asses, everyone's asses fall out. Do you know what I mean? They just totally fall out and go, oh fuck.
But the thing is also though, Aaron, they called him Ryan then. The thing is also, Aaron, is the fact of they're getting money left, right, and centre. And the thing is, they are businessmen. You know, you've got all these prats running out and buying a shirt for £100 and all that, and buying their season tickets. Now, no disrespect to Kenny, he's a fucking absolute legend, and you know he loves what he does and he works for it, and fair play to him. But the thing is like the money's just coming in left, right, and centre. So why the fuck would you change anything if that's what you're all about and that's what you're trying to do? And you can win, you can get all that money without winning anything or doing anything. Why change it?
Mate, it's bonkers. I wish I could fully answer it, but the annoying thing is as well is with this money thing. Right, I get, you know, we do need to sell. I totally understand, but it seemed like we had to sell to buy, and I mean we're the world's worst sellers. I mean we are absolutely pathetic. Like I can't even say a word nicer than that. It's shocking, shambolic, ridiculous how poor we are at selling. I don't know what that garlic geezer who does. I think he's in charge of it. I don't know what he actually does in the day. I don't know whether he like tries negotiating with clubs via like carrier pigeon or something like that. Like because it just takes so long. It's ridiculous, you know.
It is. I mean, it's just it's hard, you know, like sort of as a like neutral fan, obviously. You look at it and I think to myself, and I would imagine there's a lot of fans think the same as well. You think, you know what, if they was to actually build on this first 11, they would be fucking magnificent. They would really fucking tear this over the edge. And it's just, you're just not doing it. And it just makes no sense because you're in a position where you could probably, I mean, yes, you could bring in like world-class players and stuff like that. And, you know, you could argue that Saliba is or on his way to being or whatever. But it's amazing that you're not actually doing that, you know, instead of like, and if you want my honest opinion, I think it's basically down to the fact that Arteta doesn't want too much choice, because too much choice would show him for what he actually is. Because if you've got like loads of tactically different players on your bench, then you've got to show that you're able to change a game tactically to actually win that game. And I think he just wants to keep the players that he's got so that basically he doesn't get shown up in that respect.
Mate, honestly, I promise you this, and I'll tell you this for absolute free. He is the worst in-game tactical manager I've ever seen in my life.
100%.
Not even just at Arsenal. I mean, every manager that's ever lived at any level are much better than Arteta tactically in game. He doesn't like make the right subs. When he does make subs, it's always like for like, it's stale, and then they're always about 20 minutes too late. You know, everyone wonders why Bukayo Saka's absolutely knackered. We're 5 or 6-0 up v Bournemouth, and he plays 90 minutes. Why? Why does he play that? He's burnt out. He plays every minute of every single game, and you can't even see that the geezer needs to come off. I mean, he makes a big old deal of it, and all sometimes Saka, but he does get absolutely crunched sometimes. And you think you're 4-0 up, 5-0 up, or whatever. Why is he still on the field? And then he'll be having a stinker, and then he'll take Martinelli off or something like that. And I'll sit there and think, I'd love to just know what's going through this matey's nut, because I can't absolutely understand a single bit of what he's doing.
No.
It can be painful, mate. And I'm sitting up in the stands and I'm just looking and thinking, what is this geezer doing? He's watching the same game as me. Why is this happening? Like, I don't know. He's just not good enough, is he? Let's get that right. I don't think
He's not. He's not. He's not. I mean, he weren't really a great player, to be honest. I mean, the best playing was when he was at Everton, to be fair.
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, he just doesn't seem to know what to do. If it works, he just keeps it like that. But the thing is, if that's what you're gonna do, and you've only got a plan A, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, over the last few seasons, I have seen a bit of a plan B where you go a bit more conservative and don't go so gung ho and all that kind of stuff. I have actually seen that taking spot. But like you say, with these substitutions, they are pretty much like for like. And in the window, I'd say you probably weakened yourself more than actually
100%.
strengthened yourself.
Well, you look today, you think, all right, I know he's had a bit of injury problems. Emile Smith-Rowe's career, right, some might say, he did need a little move, and I get that. But look at us now. We ain't got a midfield. He got another assist today, Emile Smith-Rowe. He started well, he has.
Yeah,
good
yeah.
luck to him, obviously, But what I'm sort of obviously alluding to is we have left ourselves massively short, and we are massively weaker. We've got this. We've got Real Sociedad's like second or third choice, but third best midfielder, and we're like trying to hail him as some like midfield saviour, and then he falls over and breaks his shoulder for 2 months. I mean, you can't even write it, do you?
That's fucking mad.
You can't. Made of glass. Like what's going on? They don't have injury. A lot of these players for most of their careers, they come to us and they're like fucking. You know what I mean? They're just
the thing is, though, in the league that he was in, it's not quite as physical, and in those kind of leagues, they stand off you quite a bit. Whereas, like, I mean, from what I heard about, like, what happened there was Gabriel actually landed on him. There was they went for an header or whatever, and he actually landed on him in training. But I think the biggest thing for me is it's a bad sign, because you look at how many sort of injuries you've got now, and you haven't really got the depth either. I've been saying that for ages, mate, ever since I've started doing this and talking to different Arsenal fans. The thing that's killing you is the depth. Yes, you haven't got a striker. You've made some good chances against Brighton. You can talk about this sending off all you fucking like. It doesn't matter if you put 3 goals away in the first half, because you had the chances and you
we had
didn't
chances
take
after.
them. Yeah,
we had 2 or 3 good chances afterwards. The ref was a bit of a helmet, but he didn't miss us them chances, did he?
Exactly.
You've got to be taking them. You have to be taking.
I don't think the ref was wrong in what he did, to be honest. Although I do see, like for instance, I was watching this Chelsea Bournemouth game, and Cole Palmer, even though it was their free kick, he still smacked it right away to waste some time. So if kicking the ball away is an offence, then it's an offence and it's a yellow card. If I look at the Rice situation, basically, and I've looked at it like a few times as well, where what's his face, Veltman or whatever his name is, who Arsenal fans have been giving death threats to and all sorts, because they're all a bunch of fucking idiots. They're probably not tall enough to reach his fucking knee, never mind his neck. But the thing is like, when he tries to kick that ball, if you watch the trajectory of his kick, it would have hit the ball. So if the ball wasn't kicked away, it would have actually hit the ball and not Declan Rice.
Yeah, and essentially as well, he didn't have to do it. He put himself in the situation and he asked the question of the ref. The thing is it's frustrating. Look, technically the ref is right. Yeah, I totally get that. The annoying thing is that I think in the first half, I think one of their players absolutely hoofed it about 40, 50 yards or something. And he doesn't get anything. And it's
100%.
It's just like, well, if one's not a yellow, then this that's the annoying thing. You can't give that massively blatant one and then not give, you know what I mean, this small one. That's all we want. It's just consistency, and there's absolutely none, is there? That's my gripe with it,
Can't argue with you on that. I mean, but the thing is, like I said, the one thing that we know about is like inconsistency, because ever since we've been back in the Premier League, we've had it 100%. I mean, look at the game against Everton. Should have been 2 penalties and then a sending off, and it weren't either. So, it's just one of them things with a game. I don't get it. It's like if there's a rule, there's a rule. And if you kick the ball away, it doesn't matter whether it's in the first minute or in the fucking 85th minute. You've kicked the ball away. So if that's a rule, then it's a yellow card. It's the slightest little kick away that you'll ever see. And it was stupid. But also, I will also say that any other manager, a player like Declan Rice that you don't want to lose for a North London derby, gets on a yellow card for a silly tackle, wasn't actually playing that great anyway and was making mistakes. Yeah. You take the fucker off. He's against Brighton. Yeah.
He got
you
it early
take
as
him
well,
off.
That yellow, he got that quite early in the first half, I'm fairly
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So he's always, one to watch. But again, back to the Mikel Arteta thing, he don't see things like that. Now, I'm not blaming Mikel Arteta, solely for not taking it off. But even if, say, for argument's sake, that didn't get him a yellow, but, the ref's gone over to him and said, like, right, mate, listen, you are on your last legs here, fella. Mikel Arteta would have just left him on anyway. Do you know what I mean? This is what his in-game management is so embarrassing. Like, he just don't see things like that. But yeah. And just quickly back to the Declan Rice thing, he's let us down 100%. Like, he's done it. No one's made Declan kick it out. Declan. Totally him. He's really let us down for tomorrow. Like I said, not having them set pieces because I don't think he was on. Am I right? I don't think he was actually on set piece duty until after the Dubai trip. The infamous Dubai trip that turned our season around apparently. And we still won for
steak, mate.
Like,
that's what did it.
Mate. Honestly. Like that. That is the cringiest thing I have ever seen in my life. Like
you just make yourself a joke club. You just make yourself a joke club. You really do.
Makes me sick looking at that. Disgusting. Like why would you do that? Putting yourself out there and allowing how do you look at your missus at night after you've done something like that? You know what I mean? And be proud.
I don't think he bothers with his missus, does he? He lives with Ben White and fucking Zinchenko taking it up the fucking arse.
What was that all about, isn't it? Yeah, that's a fucking madness thing to say, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, he's probably too busy.
He's conquered his missus. He's now conquering what's his face, Havertz. So, he's obviously on some kind of mission. That's probably why he can't sign players. Because they're like, well, no, my bread's not buttered that side, so I'm not playing for Arsenal.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, yeah.
I'm not going in the orgy ass.
Yeah. But mate, as long as his eyebrows are looking perfect for it, I don't think he cares,
Oh, my days. Just catch this chat up. He's the worst manager I've ever seen too. You're a manager. That means dickhead. You have to manage people and what comes with them. Man, the thing is, though, Cole, saying that is I don't think they're managers now. They're more coaches because they take away so many things from them. I think I was reading the other day that Wenger said something about they were saying he was going to have a technical director, and he was like, "Well, what's he going to do? Because I do everything. So what the hell is he going to do?" Mama says, "Be right back." Yeah, no worries, Mama. And Austin Kim Kardashian too were a plastic fake shambles. He adopted Hector Bellerin too as a sex slave. Yeah, exactly. There's definitely a thing going on there, mate. There's definitely a thing. But if you go on Pornhub and put in Arsenal, I mean, I've never done it, but a mate's told me he has. And all the players are on there. But anyway, I played rugby for years. Why do I even bother with this? Yeah, you're killing it, Aaron. Oh, absolutely, mate. This guy's a fucking legend. Absolutely. Oh, that's another thing you have to learn as well. As soon as you start doing YouTube, you're a legend. You're an instant legend, mate.
Sweet. I'll take it. Especially from absolute gents like Carl. You know what I mean? I'll take it.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, fella.
100%.
I love a bit of Carl I do in the chat. What a geezer. What a geezer. Yeah, no, and Carl will probably agree with what I'm saying or about to say now. Yeah, Mikel Arteta, he's I'm sorry, he's not good enough. He's taken the team, to a better standard, but let someone proper take over now, He's still learning on the job, and that just it baffles me still that Arsenal FC, a massive, massive, massive football club, can just let a geezer that's sat next to Pep for 2 years take over the club?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I know.
it just baffles me, you know,
It's
how we can
weird,
just
isn't
let
it?
him learn. Do you know why? Because all this little process and everything like that is just everyone's bought into it. With a vast majority of people, not normal people like us in the chat and on here. Everyone's bought into this little family love, little youth project. It's not family. It's a game of bloody football. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
want to see us win it when I go. You know,
of
I'm
course you
paying
do.
£1,400 for my ticket. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to go there and watch shit all
Fucking
the
hell.
time. I accept it's not going to
Yeah.
be, you know, wonderful, elegant all the time. I accept that, even though it was for the large majority of Arsene Wenger's first sort of half of his stint. It was wonderful football. We were treated. But now, you know, it's just like you go in there and it's just sideways. Like you said with the Sterling comment you said, you know, he was like, oh, the way his tactics are, I might not work around Sterling. And it's sort of that pass. It's fucking boring to watch, yeah. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes I'm like looking at my phone and that, thinking, oh, I'm at a football game. What you doing? Like, stop. What you on Facebook for, mate? Do you know what I mean? Like, Arsenal are on.
Yeah.
It's a snore fest sometimes. And this season, it has been an absolute snore fest and all. And when you're not winning anything and the football's crap, I mean, what we doing there? What's the bloody point? But I can't.
Exactly.
I'm an Arsenal junkie, mate. I can't. I wish I could turn it off. I do.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing, really. I mean,
Yeah.
it's you know, same as me being a Forest fan. I mean, for 23 years, we've been stuck in the bottom divisions and all that kind of stuff. The Championship, then down to League One, then up to the Championship. And I agree with a lot of what you guys say. Not that it's on the same level, but we've been, because I was saying to Carl the other day, we've been in the same kind of situation where we're not doing enough and we're getting frustrated and all that kind of thing. I mean, we ran it was Mark Arthur ran a thing called We're Serious About Promotion, Are You? And we all bought in and we bought season tickets and everything like that. We didn't sign fucking anybody. I think we signed like two players that time. And they proper like did a number on us. I mean, he went after that. He's gone. But the thing is, it's like I can see kind of where you're coming from. But you know what? What annoys me about Arsenal the most, I think you're so on the edge of glory, but you just don't seem to want to go over that line for some reason. I don't
It's
get it.
not. Yeah, it's not the first time we've been in this situation. It's every single time we're nearly there. We don't do what's required, and that's worrying because you know you'll listen to the PR absolute nonsense that the club will pull out. I mean, they put it out on a daily basis, an hourly basis. I couldn't even tell you the last time I went on the Arsenal website to not check ticket or something like that. You know, to actually just go there and look on it. It's horrendous, just nonsense after nonsense. And you know, our owners,
Yeah.
oh mate, it's horrendous, honestly. Yeah, our owners, they they don't do what's required. They're not winners. Abramovich, that's a proper owner, let me tell you. He came
I
in
don't
with
think they
Chelsea
care
for
though,
the
Aaron. That's what I think it is.
of
I
course
don't
he
think they
stand.
care.
Well, Stan definitely don't. I mean, he's used Arsenal like a toy. Stan Kroenke has. You know, he's basically said to his young boy, like, I don't really give a toss about these. Like, here, I'll go and you play with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mate. Do you have a little go, son? You don't give a toss.
Yeah, it's like a side project.
Yeah.
And they've got like a cult following going that follow Arteta, which I've said this before. He does actually look like fucking what's his face, the serial killer. Forgot his name completely. But it's like it just seems like a cult. And personally, I think it all changed when Xhaka took two fingers up at the crowd and told the crowd to fuck off, and he got sent off, and he threw the shirt down, and he trod on the shirt and stuff like that. That's to me where the culture changed. That's where everybody was like more about the Arteta and the Arsenal instead of like, well, not even the Arsenal. We'd never have that. We'd fucking run you out the ground. You know what I mean? We would never have that kind of disrespect to us. And then he stays, and everyone's going, "Oh, yeah, Bundy. Yeah, Bundy. That was who I was trying to think of." He does actually look like fucking Ted Bundy, to be fair. But the thing is, it's like, and I just think you've got this kind of cult thing going. So the if you're owning a business, all you're bothered about is that the turnover's good and that the money's coming in. Yeah. And that is exactly what's happening at Arsenal. Whether you win, whether you don't, whether you fail, well, there's no thing. And I honestly, and I'll ask you this now, do you really think you're going to go for either of the cups? Because I don't think you will.
Well, you think, right? We threw them away probably every single year since we won the FA Cup. Every single one. I think he's won maybe one game. I think 1 or 2 FA Cup games since he won it, and that was in 2019. I think. I mean, what was it? 2019, 21? I don't know. Either way, that's not great, is it? No. I mean, that really ain't good. The fact that since you won it, in the first 6 months, you've only won 2 FA Cup games since. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we threw them away every single year because the squad weren't big enough. Well, it's definitely not big enough now. The squad's short.
No chance.
Short. The squad's shorter than Warwick Davis, mate. Like, where are we going? Like, how are we going to expect to go far? Especially now, I know it's only a couple of games, but you've got the Champions League now, which you've added an extra game in there. And then if you finish in a certain place, I think you have to then play another qualifying game. So there's an extra 2 games. I mean, our players fall over and Arsenal's like a hospital, mate, more than our football club.
Yeah.
They just break down, you know what I mean? You know, I just can't see us.
This is like you've just said. You've just hit the nail on the head, because that's what I was just going to say. The fact that you haven't got a big squad is the fact that you don't take these cups seriously and things like that. Because if you say, for instance, Alex, you win tomorrow and you beat City and you're on your way to you get to the top of the league and you're possibly on the way to winning the league. There's no way on this planet he's going to play an FA Cup game or a Coca-Cola Cup game with, like, the Odegaards and the Rice and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be all the young lads, throw you all in again. Whereas, like, Wenger did it, and what Wenger did with it was brilliant. You had some great players. I don't know what the fuck happened to them, but you had some great cup players that he used to play, and they must have all just tripped off. Or I think Gnabry was one of them, wasn't he? There was quite a lot of them that would look pretty decent as well. And they just all of a sudden kind of disappeared. Let me just cover this chat a minute. Carl Rossi shows clearly the club's ambition by doing that and sticking with him for possibly 8 years, all based on Twitter feedback from the lockdown fan base. And that is a big point. I love that point, because that was the point when we had what's his face? I can't remember his name now. But the guy that took over Forest and started saying, "Oh yeah, I've loved Forest all the time, and I've seen all their bollocks what they talk," and I knew straight away this guy ain't it. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He don't know what he's doing. And I said that a few times. I got kicked out of many Forest forums and things for being negative.
Really?
Well, weren't that negative, was I? Because it was right. But that's what you get. That's what you get when you're supposedly negative. And the thing is, it's like they just carry on kind of doing things like that. And as fans, you've got to make a stand. And that's where I look at you guys. And I think that's where your issue is. The fans stick by them and just keep paying in and just keep buying in all the time. Why would you change it? I don't really see why you would change it, to be honest.
Well, you take this sort of into perspective, the fan base will never change because they're absolutely Arteta giddy. They're obsessed with him, like you said, a cult. This is some serious weird shit going on with all these top gooners, and we will always be held back as long as they remain such a vast majority of the fan base. There's like about 5% normal people. Do you know what I mean? All of everyone's bought into this absolute rodent shambles of a process, and all completely forgot that we're in this game to win. We go there to pay this money, or I go there to watch them win. I want to see them at the end of the season lift a bit of silver in either the Emirates or at Wembley. I don't give them money for fun. Do you know what I mean?
Nah.
I don't just like watching 22 geezers run around. Do you know what I mean? We want to win, and they will not do what's required because they haven't done in the past. We're on the edge, and now they think, do you know what? Yeah, they look around and go, Chelsea are absolutely shambolic. Manchester United, they've been shambolic. Maybe they're slightly on the way up, but that will still take a bit of time. Tottenham, they're the most serial failures I've ever seen in a football team in my life. So they're no threat, never have been, never will be.
That's why I don't understand why their fans talk bollocks, to be honest. I don't have no issue with Tottenham. You do, obviously. But the fact that they talk about, oh, you're a dusty club and you're this, that, and the other. Wait a minute, who the fuck are you?
Make that make sense.
You know what I mean?
Please. Like, I'm sitting there and thinking, like, you lot are apparently a big club, but you don't win anything. I think they last won the league in 1961. Like,
yeah, exactly.
What's going on?
Yeah,
like the last trophy they won, I think it was like 2009, I think, when they beat Chelsea in the final. Woodgate got the winner. That was a Carling Cup. And before that, they won the FA Cup in 91, knocking us out, I think, in the semis. But we won the league that year. Do you know what I mean? You say you can't even throw that one in there. You know,
well, apparently they're not bothered about the cups. If you listen to them, they're not actually. It's a good thing they're not bothered about them because they don't fucking do anything. But you know, I mean, according to them, I mean, like they're calling, as I've always said, they call people dusty clubs. I mean, and I can't, as I've said, I can't really argue with a Spurs fan when they talk about dust because the cabinet's full of the fucker.
Do you know what I mean? People are sneezing every time they go in that ground. There's so much fucking dust in there. I don't understand it, mate. Dusty. Like, why would you have any chest as a Tottenham fan? I would actively, if I was forced as a kid to support them, I'd actively be hiding the fact that I'm a Tottenham fan, let alone coming on here and shouting it all out. Do you know what I mean? Dusty.
Yeah. He's just. Madness. It makes no sense, but I think as soon as you like become a YouTuber for your club, a lot of people just go onto this. And the thing is, I mean, the thing I find is a lot of these delusional fucking Arsenal fans weren't even around when all the good stuff was going off anyway. You know, I've seen it, obviously, because I'm 51. You know it because you know your history. I don't know how old you are. I'd say about 62, looking at you. But, you know, I mean, it's like they just like fucking talk absolute shit because they've never actually seen it. So they don't know what they're actually missing. And I think that's probably one of the biggest issues.
Yeah. Well, you know, first off, I'm 60, not 61. Yeah.
Sorry, mate. I had to get
that. You're all right. You know, all these years count, mate. You know what I mean? Yeah. No,
that was my jealousy talking, mate. There. Man Flossie says, sadly, football is run for profit. Now it's no longer about winning. That's absolutely spot on, to be quite honest with you. Absolutely spot on. As a business structure, why would you change it? Yeah, exactly. Idiotic sheep overdosing on the Kool-Aid of vibes and family. Fuck off. It's the way people are now. I mean, if you listen to some of them, right? I mean, this is from a long time ago. I had a guy, a Chelsea guy, telling me that strikers ain't there to score goals. Well, why are they called strikers then?
That's probably why they've got Jackson up front, though, to be fair. Right. Makes sense when you think about that, doesn't it?
Wrong there.
Who earlier, in the first half, I think, missed an absolute golden chance. But when I see it was him through, you're just like, oh, well. Just like when Kai Havertz goes through for us, I have never had such little faith in a human being in my life than Kai Havertz being one-on-one with a keeper. I'm just like, oh, well.
No, I tell you what, Kai Havertz, right? You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of that kid at school. You know, when you're going to play five-a-side and everyone stands there and they pick people who they want. He's that kid that's last. And he's, oh, come on then, over here.
Oh, we'll have him. No, you have him. No, we'll have him. You'd rather have 4 on your team instead of 6 or something, just so he was on the other team, innit? Yeah.
I mean, he has done all right, to be fair. Aaron, most who give it chess with any club currently are behind a keyboard without accountability, as is the most affected. You are Banter FC. There's no doubt about that. And I find that a little bit unfair because I know like genuine Arsenal fans whose fucking art is there, not there. That'd be wrong. It'd be there. But you know what I mean? I know players, fans like myself, Forest is my life. I love Forest till I die. And you guys are exactly the same. And unfortunately, you get weathered by these idiots. But there's certain like clubs out there. I'll mention like 2 or 3 that are still sort of dead on what they want and they won't accept anything else. I would say Palace, I would say us, and I would say Newcastle, because we still bring it every single game. The fans still bring it every single game, and they are fucking absolutely awesome fans. So,
Very well said.
I mean, your guys, I mean, there's not even any singing at the Emirates or anything. It's just fucking pathetic.
It's got better, believe it or not. Like, it actually has got a little bit better, but I mean, it's still not. I'm not saying it's great or fantastic whatsoever. Let's just throw that out there. It's got better, but I mean, when it's absolutely pathetic and horrendous, like you said, I mean, there's only one way, and that's up, isn't it? When you're absolute basement, But then you think we're tourists now. Most of the fans in there, and they either don't know the songs, don't give a toss. They're only there so they can just take little selfies in the stadium or in there, with a pitch behind. They've got a little carrier bag. Yeah, that's it. But, you know what I mean? They've got a little carrier bag with about 500 quid's worth of Arsenal clobber that they bought in the armory. Like the shop. That's all they want. Why do they want me, who's going to go there and buy one absolutely horrendous pint of beer and regret it, paying 7 quid for it? Or do they want do they want the 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old or whatever that's going to go and spend 500 quid in the shop or buy a T-shirt with his name on the back and a couple of other little crappy little bits, a little thing for Win the dog? I mean, come on. Come on. How many other teams, one, have got a living mascot anyway? 2, I mean, who's buying this crap? We all are. Have you got a dog? And do you sell dog merch? Madness.
No, we've got a load of trees. We sell trees at Christmas.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's not a fucking dog, is it? I mean, there's nothing wrong with dogs, cool, but we're a football team. You know what I mean? We're not RSPCA or you know what I mean? What are we doing? Oh, it's just painful. As soon as I see that on that flipping site and you can get Win the dog merch, that's just when you know, what am I even doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I even on the site? And you start questioning yourself. It's like, how stupid are you to even have clicked on Arsenal.com? Like, get off of it, you melt. Like, a bit of self-reflection there. What are you doing, mate? Because it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Spurs have toilet seats and stuff. I mean, you can understand it because there's a lot of shit there. But
every seat in the stadium's a toilet seat.
They sell them.
60,000 toilet seats in there. I've heard it's a really nice stadium, to be fair. It's just a shame it's never going to see any success whatsoever.
Yeah, that is a fact.
Imagine that having, what's it, like a multi-million pound complex, and it just will only ever have miserable, unsuccessful fans in it.
I know.
Fantastic, isn't it?
I'll take that. I think the biggest worry for me, and I think Cole said it the other day, is we're all going to go that way eventually. And that's the biggest worry for me, because it's like, if you're making that much money, you're the blueprint. Whereas the blueprint should be Manchester City, because they're doing everything right. Because, I mean, well, apart from 115 charges, whatever that is. But the thing is, they are doing everything right. They're getting the right players in. They've got the youth coming through and all that kind. I mean, look at how much money they make on the youth that they've got coming through and stuff. And this needs to be every team trying to pull the money in. I mean, and everyone was saying like that you guys are struggling with like PSR and stuff like that. But if you actually think about the amount of money that you guys make, because I think that's the way it works. I'm not kind of 100% sure on the PSO, but I think it's how much your club actually makes, your earnings, and how much you spend, and all that kind of stuff. You do make a lot of money. I mean, you do fill the ground, don't you?
Yeah, it's largely full. Four or so year ago, when we was coming out of the Emery sort of era, it was empty. You know, it was quite sad to see, really. You know, depressing to think how the club's just you've moved into this stadium with the promise of success and competing at the very top, and after people can't even be bothered to go, and they weren't even selling the tickets on. They were just like, nah, sod that. I'll lose money just to not go. Like, mad when you think about that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's better there now in terms of attendance, but it's not full of the right people. It's obviously I won't go too much into this, but I think it's a generational thing as well. I mean, you look at the young people coming in now; they're fucking idiots, mate. Like,
well, they're easily
morons.
influenced by AFTVs and all that kind of stuff, aren't they? So, I mean, fair play to them. I mean, you drop onto a site. I mean, the first thing I found about Arsenal really was AFTV, and that was basically when we beat you in the FA Cup, and I wanted to see all the reactions from the Arsenal channels. So I went on to that, and it was fucking gold. I loved it. It was almost as good as the reactions I'm going to see about us beating Liverpool. But and that was kind of how I got into it. And then I found Lee Gunner from that, and then I dropped from that, and then kind of found everybody from that kind of point. But I think the young kids will go to the biggest channels,
Yeah.
And I think that's where the problem is, because they'll get told everything's rosy and everything's great and all. Oh, you don't have to win anything to be a great team. Oh, yeah, you do. I mean, look at Real Madrid. I mean, they can 100% be called a great team. Manchester United, with what they've won in the past, you can't say that they're not. They might not be on that scale at the moment. But the thing is, this is another thing that I'll ask you as well.
Yeah.
Why all these teams are like slipping and sliding? This is when you need to get in there, because sooner or later they're going to stop slipping and sliding, and they're going to start being serious again, and then it's going to make it a hell of a lot fucking more difficult for you to actually get where you want to get.
100%, mate. And that's what I was sort of alluding to earlier, when I was saying about this being such a pivotal window for us. We've had the opportunity to go, right, I know he's still quality, Kevin De Bruyne, but I think he might go next to him. You think they might drop him off, but they replace him straight away, didn't they? They're coming in, comes Foden, in comes, they've got a well-stocked squad. We've had the opportunity to go, right, let's really give these lot a go this season. Man City must be looking at us and going, wow, like we ain't even really done that much. Like you lot, like we're ahead of you anyway. They must be looking at Arsenal and Liverpool and just going, what a bunch of idiots you all are. Like, we're here for the taking. Like, come and take it, And yeah, we've just absolutely bollockless, honestly. Absolutely.
Yeah, let me just cover some of this chat. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I can sell bruisers as dog merch if you want. Win the dog, no trophies to drink from. No, you ain't getting no trophies. I can sell scratches as dog merch. It's going for you all, so fight hard. Yeah, I agree. That should have been a red. I don't know. I'm not watching the game. I'm trying to watch it, but not. After run, take care, lads and queens. Go sub to Aaron. Absolutely, go sub to Aaron and Night Cole. The thing is, I think another thing you've got to take into account as well. You imagine this. I mean, this is like a long way in the future, I believe. We get up to that point. Yeah, because we keep spending, we keep bringing the players in that we need and all that kind of stuff. Imagine we get up to that point. We ain't going to do a window where we don't do anything. We're going to go full on out to try and fucking take it all. So eventually, there's teams going to, like Newcastle, like us, there's teams that's going to come up that's just going to all of a sudden go, we want it all, and we're going to have it all.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
look
so
what
that's another
Chelsea
thing.
sort of done, didn't they? They were sort of a cup team, weren't they, for years in, you know, the 90s and the early sort of noughties, the first part of it. And then they just come in and with an owner and Bramwich that went, right, I'm winning. And they bloody did for 20 years. They really did. We will win. We will do whatever it takes to make this football team successful. And it worked. They had a winner of an owner and who brought in winning managers. I mean, they've had a lot of good managers. I mean, Jose for a start. I mean, his first stint there was, I mean, well, he took our title away. And then, you know, you've had like, I think Carlo was there. Hiddink even came in, I think. I don't know whether it was Carlo Cudicini, fucking, what's his name? Don Carlo. Oh, his name's got out my head either way. Ancelotti. Wow, yeah, completely froze on my head. I don't know whether it was when he got sacked and then Hiddink came in and then he won the FA Cup that year with them. They've just had proper managers. And if they're not doing the business, off you go. Tala, get out.
Yeah.
And what do? We just go, oh no, you know, it's a process. We'll be all right. We'll get better. Don't worry. Just believe in it, everyone. But well, it's 4.5 years now, 5 years. Believe in what? What we believe in? Second place is a trophy. He'll start pelling out. We've already had Wenger banging on about it being fourth place being a cup. Now we're going to go, well, you know, second's a trophy, and everyone's buying into it. Yeti.
Yeah.
You know, oh yeah, but we was finishing. We still didn't win anything. You know, yeah, but we went from 8th to 5th to 2nd to 2nd. And we still won fuck all.
Yeah,
you don't get any trophy for first. That's it. No, who cares about 2nd to 20th?
Exactly.
When you're up, you know, when you're sort of on, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't absolutely matter whatsoever.
In our position, it does, obviously, because we're trying to sort of get ourselves going. But in your position, it doesn't, because if you, and the thing is, I think the worst thing is you keep getting second, so you've got to keep getting to that level. And as soon as you don't get to that level, even if you don't, I don't think these fuckers would say he needs to go. I mean, and this is the issue with like the injuries and stuff. If you do have a season with injuries, that's going to be their excuse why you don't need to go. They weren't his fault. You got a load of injuries and all that kind of stuff, you know, and that's the problem. I'll be back in a second, mate. I need to go to the loo.
Yeah, mate. They've already
Aaron
got their excuses. Yeah, man. Yeah, they've already got their excuses, this football club. And all these Arsenal fans, you know, they're sort of seeing, oh, yeah, you know, oh, we've got Rice suspended. We've got Odegaard out. I think, you know, Calafiori isn't 100%. I don't really know what the crack is there. That's their safety net already. They already have their excuses lined up for the next week. The big games we've got next week. They're all there, ready, tailor-made, just to defend Arteta in the weird little process. It's absolutely madness. I can't fathom how so many people, and we're a massive supported club, I don't understand for the life of me how many people have fallen for it. Like, it's absolutely mental. How can people be so asleep to this crap? I just don't understand it. I never will. If someone can explain it to me, I'm all ears. Please make me a fucking believer. But it just ain't happening. I'll use my eyes and what's happened in the past to gauge probably what's going to happen in near to immediate future. And there we go. Don't win anything. Mama, superstar Geordie, you're absolutely right, girl. They are sheep. All sheep. Tell them to walk off a cliff. They'll probably bloody do it as long as Arteta's done his hair, you know what I mean, and had his makeup done. They'll put their head in the oven. It's madness. Absolute madness. When, you know, he was sort of saying like it's a cult. It's an evil cult. And hopefully it ends, ends in some mass genocide because I don't want them here. They're fucking horrendous. The people are just crap. Get rid of them. The weird cult, mate. And, you know, you've got fans like us, like Kenny, you know, who go to these games. You're taking a lot of time out of our lives for this. And, you know, I'm setting up, obviously, a channel, as we know. And that's going to take a lot of time. Sacrifices are going to have to be made. But I think more people like us, normal fans, need to be having a voice here because there's such an imbalance between zesty, weird channels, and the likes of me, the likes of Yeti, you know, these opinions need to be out there, and it's almost why I'm really sort of doing the channel mostly, because there's just such an imbalance in this fans. You know, you've got all these new channels starting up that are absolute melts, and our voices are absolutely going to be, you know, going to be eradicated soon. I just felt almost compelled to stick my 2 cents in and get my little beak on the YouTube scene.
Yeah, man, love it.
Why not?
Love your reasonings for doing it and things like that. And the thing is, it's like when I first started, you know, you see other people doing this and stuff like that, and you think to yourself, well, I can do that. And it is all about having a voice and saying exactly what you think. And, you know, fuck people if they don't like it. It's tough shit. But Man Flosses, I've seen it on other channels getting the excuses in, crying after before a ball has been kicked. To be honest, Mammy, your fan base isn't that bad. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen all of them, so I don't know like all of your fan base. But I think most of your fan base that I've seen are pretty much on the level. I don't know. You'll have to tell me because I don't know. But I mean, same as ours. I mean, we're pretty level-headed. There is like some dickheads and stuff like that, but I'm 100% in on I want to see Forest be great again, and that's no quotation of Trump. That's just like, you know, that's what I want to see. I want to see it. I want to see the European Cup because everyone asks me like, "Oh, you know, did you do it? Well, did you actually see him win the European Cup?" Well, no, because I was 7. I was 7 years old, and that was back in the day where your parents didn't let you go to a football match when you were 7. You know, so yeah, I didn't see it. I looked into all of it, and I watched all the videos and everything like that. And I seen Clough era, and I've been a fan for a long time, and I've been to a lot of games. Don't think I could go now. It's too expensive. There's no way I could go now.
Priced out, mate. It's sad, isn't it? That's what's happened. Because I mean, years ago, you know, it was sort of all about you know the working sort of man woman's game. You know, don't want to offend any people by saying working man's. Fuck them. I'm joking.
Fuck them, mate. Fuck
yeah. Yeah, you know, like it was one of them things. You know, the players even after the game sometimes would go down in the boozer and things like that. And you think, I know obviously social media and things like that have taken it all off, but they're the fans. They're the core fans of why the English Premier League is one of the most watched, or well, it is the most watched league in the world.
Yeah,
and it's because of them roots and people, you know, like yourselves going there and helping that grow to the most popular sport on the planet. And now it's all gone, you know. And there's obviously it's generational sort of things. Social media has obviously stopped a lot of that. The money obviously then gives you that much more of a separation from them, you know, because there's young kids now, multimillionaires, aren't they? You know, at 17, you know, they're on ridiculous sort of money. Well, it's a shame that the likes of you, and let's get it right. I haven't got 1,400 quid floating around for my ticket. I have to manage my stuff.
Yeah,
you know, it has to be managed. And not only that, you know, you go down there. Me and my mate who's got the other season ticket, we take turn in driving sometimes. There's still petrol, there's still a couple of beers, there's still this, there's still that. It all tallies up. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the year, times all the home games, you know, you got 12 games, you know. Sometimes I have a good few beers there, even though it's Camden Ales they sell in the Emirates. It's absolutely atrocious, the beer. Warm and £7. Absolutely horrendous. But yeah, look, it's shit that fans are priced out. Why?
Yeah, and the problem is it's going to get more expensive as well. It's not ever going to go down. The only time it'll go down is when people refuse the prices. People refuse the prices. There's no choice but to put the prices down. But people won't do that. And like you've said, you've got people that come in like fucking holiday, fucking enjoy a Saturday at the Emirates and all that kind of stuff. and they're not proper Arsenal fans. Or I mean, we don't really have that. I mean, Spurs is pretty much full of them, to be fair, because of Heung-min Son. But Mama Flossie says there are some who want Eddie out crying because we didn't spend. Yeah, that was that to me was a big miss, because, and the reason I find that really strange is, like, Arsenal didn't really spend that much either. But the thing is, they didn't really have injuries last season. You had injuries that absolutely crippled your season. So I'm really amazed that you didn't actually strengthen and bring in more players. You probably actually weakened, to be fair, by losing Anderson.
It's got to be that PSR thing for them, isn't it? Yeah, as Mum was saying, it has to be.
Yeah.
Like, they seem like quite an ambitious club, so I don't know why they wouldn't, if they couldn't, spend.
Yeah, the thing is, that thing winds me up, though, because, I mean, you're not telling me the other teams ain't close to it, or why is it Newcastle are struggling with the money when Manchester City have built a team based on, I mean, because let's face it, the thing only came in because of them, how much they was spending. They're doing great from it with all the players that they've got. And then Newcastle become like the richest team in the Premier League, apparently, but can't spend a thing.
Yeah, it's madness, really. That I mean, like I said, you look at the Chelsea things. I know they've sold a few sort of players, but they haven't sold them and largely made profits on them. They had, since Todd Bowley's there. I mean, I think they had like a summer where they just like spent so much money, and I think this summer and last summer they cleared them all out and sold them all off for like 75% losses. But they don't care. They just keep going and keep going. I'm sure the point that you're saying is, why can they do it and Newcastle can't, sort of thing.
It's bizarre.
Yeah,
it's bizarre. I mean, look how much we're spending. Look how many players we're signing all the time. I mean, we came into the league and nearly signed every player on the planet, basically. And I mean, it's just mad. It makes no sense.
I think you had that summer, was it last summer or the one before, where I think you signed like 24, 25 players or something.
When we first came on.
Yeah, and was that even, you had what's his name? Was it the Real Madrid ex-Real Madrid goalkeeper? I think you had him in for half the season. Keylor Navas, wasn't it? That's who it was.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
but you went for it. You're ambitious. Nothing wrong with that, mate, is there? Fair dues to you. If you want to give it a right old go, then fair dues to you. At least you're trying. You're doing something.
That's why I think if we will be a danger if we actually start getting into the upper echelons of the league. Yeah. We will just go out there and we'll go, right, we want this guy, we want Mbappe, we want, or whatever, probably not that, but, we want this player, we want that player, we want that player, we're having them, and I think we are a danger in that respect. The real fans are being priced out. They want the people who will spend at the game, not the ones who just watch the game and go home. Yeah, you're spot on. 100. We were close to PSR, they couldn't spend. Yeah, it's weird that. Because we don't have the extensive fan base. Yeah, you're probably right there. I don't know how many your grand olds, to be honest. Sai, for fuck's sake, decent for 87 minutes, one lapse of concentration. Once again, didn't take chances, would have taken a draw before game, but felt could have won. Watching, losing is a bit of punch. Yeah, I just seen the final goal, mate. Yeah, sucks, man. I thought you played well. I didn't watch all of it, to be fair, but I thought you played well.
Was it Nkuku who scored, was it?
It was Madueke.
Oh, he's had a decent start to the season.
He's on it at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, he's right on it. Absolutely on it. It's funny, they sign all these players and sometimes it's just the ones that you've got there. All they sometimes need is just that good little run of form to sort themselves out, because I didn't really rate him that much before. I knew he was promising, but last season he didn't really sort of show me anything for me to go, wow, he's going to be a proper player. But fair dues. And talking about good starts of the season, I just see the table come up and you boys are sitting nice and pretty in fifth, aren't you? 8 points out of 4. I think you'd take that at the start of the season, considering one of them games is Liverpool away. I'm sure you'd be happy with 8. I mean, we could have that. I think,
100%, mate. Happy as a pig in shit, mate, or a tree in shit, or whatever. But yeah, I'm loving it, mate. I'm loving the fact that we beat Liverpool at Anfield. I'm loving the fact that I'm seeing some of the reactions of we just wasn't good enough today. Liverpool weren't good enough today. You weren't good enough because we didn't let you be good enough. It was the same as the game where we played you guys at the City Ground. You know, we didn't let you be good enough. So,
you were
and
good,
if you
mate.
stop somebody playing, Salah is one of those players that can pick out a pass or do something great. He just didn't get the chance to do it, and we kept stopping him doing it. And McAllister was basically bullied by Rice in the centre. Yates in the centre, and we just didn't let them play what they wanted to play. But these big teams don't take it like that. It's always they've had an off day. But I don't care if you had an off day. We've got 3 points. Fuck off.
Too right.
You know what I mean? I don't
Too
care
right.
why. We
Who
got 3
cares?
points. That's all that matters to me.
Who cares if they had 50 shots on at goal and you somehow fluked it 1-0? Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Who absolutely cares? It's all about the W, mate.
Of course
All
it
about that. And to be fair, I didn't watch a lot of your games. I was watching the City one, just obviously praying that they
obviously,
slip up.
yeah.
But I was flicking over at bits. How did you actually play? Was it a fucking belt of a performance, or was it just you nullified them, sort of like what you were saying?
It was a proper performance that I like to see, where you just get in their face and you just don't let them do what they want to do, because I think you can beat anybody if you do that and you've got that mindset that you ain't getting through here. Mourinho had it against Salah. Aina had it against Diaz. And it was like that. So every time they actually managed to get the ball into the box, we was there to clear it. And we pretty much took over the midfield, although they did have quite a lot in the midfield at certain times. But most of the time, as soon as they'd sort of misplaced a pass, which they did a lot, which is not like Liverpool to do, but that's what you do when your mindset is not right because you know someone's coming into you or whatever. So, yeah, I'm more than pleased with what I saw today, to be honest. And I had a feeling towards the end, I wasn't going to say it because I thought, no, I'll jinx it. But I thought we could nick this. We could definitely nick this. And that's what they did to us last season when we played them at the City Ground. We should have beat them, and they nicked it right at the end. So,
Was it
fuck
Nunes,
them.
was it?
Fuck Liverpool.
Nunes header, wasn't it? I'm sure it was. Like 99th minute Nunes header.
Yeah, it was basically Callum Hudson-Odoi got the ball outside the box, and instead of like putting it into Rosette, he tried to skill it out the way, and I was like, "Fucking Rosette!" He's on the stream. I was going mental. Rosette the fucking thing, and he didn't. So they managed to nick it. So you know what? Fuck them anyway. Who gives a shit about Liverpool?
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, we're trying to sort of build ourselves back up. And that's the first time we've won this in 1969. So it's a fucking good day. It's a good day to be a Forest fan. That's all I'm saying.
Buzzing, mate, isn't it? Well, listen, I'm openly, happily wanting them to lose every single game. I don't care.
Exactly.
I'm not from Liverpool, and they're, I suppose, probably our direct rivals for the second place trophy.
Cool. Yeah, exactly. So it's big for you guys as well that we beat them.
Yeah. And it means that if you're that little bit happier with that little smile on your face and I'm on a stream because you've won a game, I'll take it, mate.
Absolutely, man. I'm just gutted at the fact that when they scored and I went absolutely mental, for some reason the stream froze. And so I haven't got it. So I can't actually do a short on it because I really wanted to sort of ram it straight up their fucking noses. But I can't do that now because I ain't actually got it. And I've tried to view it on YouTube and it freezes. And I've tried to view it in StreamYard and it just freezes just before it happens. And then it just like goes fast and then it's pretty much done. So yeah, that was a bit of a shitter. But you know what? I don't care. This is dreams, mate. This is what dreams are made of. Beating Liverpool at Anfield. And I'm not
Yeah,
saying
right.
we're down on it on doing that and stuff like that. This to me is like big stuff when you beat Liverpool at Anfield, And the fact is, we shut them down. We shut
Yeah.
them down. No matter how much they want to say, "Oh, we didn't play well enough," we didn't fucking let you. That's the main thing.
Would you say it was a case of you? I know this little term gets thrown around a lot. Would you say that you wanted it more than they did?
100%,
Yeah.
100%. And I think
And
that will win any game. That
just
will
got to
win
say
any
that.
game.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Any team, if they want it more, and I've seen Arsenal do some absolute stinkers against teams where you just think, we'll just turn up today, no worries, sweet. And then
Yeah.
these lot are right up for it, and they're throwing you off your game, and all of a sudden, then you're looking around at everyone, and everyone's like, "Going, what's going on here? Why are we so crap?" I'll tell you why you're so crap, because you turned up here expecting, you think you
I've
can
always
be
said it.
80%.
I've always said it, and I've had arguments on it as well. Football is massively about mentality as well as physicality, because if you've got a tactic where, say, for instance, I don't know, say that you play Man City next week, and you've got a tactic where you close down Holland really quick, and that player's mentality isn't about doing that, your tactic fails.
Yeah.
So football is massively about mentality as long as physicality. And I have fell out with a few people saying that, but it is, of course it is. If you ain't got the balls to fucking go in and get into that person, then your tactic's not going to work, because your counter attack works from you getting into that person. If you're not going to do that part, the other part don't happen.
Yeah. Well, you
Really
think that
obvious,
it's
really.
100%, mate. You think it almost reminds me exactly of the second half of Wenger's sort of reign, where you think, do you know what? You've got a lot of talented footballers out there who are weak up top,
Yeah.
and as well, when you were saying about physically as well, we was just almost trying to copy a little, but why do we always copy everyone else? Like we was kind of copy Barcelona's thing at the time, where we had like almost like 5 cams sort of like playing with no real wingers. We had like Ramsey, Wilshere, Rosicky, all of them sort of very similar sort of players doing the same thing. And that was all well and good, but they're all 5'8". Do you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with being that. But if you're coming up against a team who are all 6'2", well, you're going to have a problem with certain aspects of the game, then, aren't you? You physically won't be able to be good enough. And the mentality was a huge, huge, huge issue with why we never done anything in them latter years of Wenger, because we had none. We absolutely had none. It was all sort of shot to bits.
Totally.
You had all these young kids that didn't even have like a leader. Like our squad, I think from 2006 when we went to the Emirates, and 2004 when we last won the league, it got dismantled extremely quick. And all of a sudden, you're looking around the change rooms, and you've gone from having 2-3 decades of Tony Adams, Martin Keown, Petit, Vieira, Gilberto's, real leaders, real proper characters. So all of a sudden, looking around, and you've got these young 18-year-old, 19. Fabregas was all right, but not 15, 16, 17, he still finds a way. There was such a real lack of leadership in there, and of course it transmits onto the. Of course it does. It transmits onto the field.
Well,
You've not got to go like that.
You imagine, right? You imagine Roy Keane, Stuart Pearce, Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, without the mentality to want to win that ball and just the physicality. Yeah. They ain't the same players, mate.
Yeah, them players. Well, I want it more than you. I will win every single ball because 100%. I don't want you to 100%. Win one. This is my midfield, said Roy Keane. And Vieira.
Totally.
Mine.
Totally.
Even when they went off against each other, that's why there was fireworks. That's why it was so good to watch, because it wasn't no little show. It weren't like a theatre like it all is now, all PR and nonsense. You're talking about genuine dislike, genuine winners, fighters.
100%. That makes a big difference in football, and it doesn't matter how good a player is, because you've seen it done so many times that it doesn't matter how good a player is. If the player that's marking him is 100% on stopping him doing anything, he ain't doing nothing. Look at Salah. Look at Martinelli against what was his name? The winger we had in the FA Cup, I can't remember, but he absolutely pocketed the guy.
Oh,
Like
100%.
Spence, Jed Spence. He
Yeah.
absolutely pocketed the guy. Size is fan base size is a criminal stat to use for PSR. It is. I think it's down to like earnings and stuff. Forest played well, need that consistency, and they'll be battling for Europe 100%, and that's what we want. 16 yellow cards in that game. What, the Chelsea Bournemouth game? 16 yellow cards. There was tons in our game. Mama ref carded everyone who talked to him, and lots of very soft tackles and dives. I did notice something, Si. I don't know if you noticed it, but when Chelsea won a free kick, Palmer booted the ball away, and the ref just had a word with him instead of yellow carding him. Now, surely, if he boots the ball away, that should be a yellow card, shouldn't it? Mental sigh, and we got 2 yellows early for defensive midfield. Then Chelsea just hit the deck when they were breathed on. Yeah, Carl Palmer went down in my estimation today. Fell over all game. Cucurella should have seen red. Cucurella's he's an arse, man. He's one of those kind of players that you wouldn't mind having for yourself, but when he plays against you, he's an annoying fucker. How he stayed on site, I don't know. I know, Mama. Poor reffing again. He is least favourite ref. This is the problem, though. I mean, it's every single. This is what really pisses me off about football now. It's never about the football that we have talking points on. It's always about the fucking refs. Instead of, oh, what a great game that was. Brilliant game, great shots, great stuff, all this kind of thing. It's always about the referees and the bad decisions they make, or VAR. And I think that's a massive problem.
Wow. Yeah. I just see you, Mum has put in the group chat. He is an absolute useless piece of shit, Anthony Taylor. I mean, to be fair, that's copy and paste with every single ref. I mean, the standard of refereeing, I mean, is embarrassing. It's borderline shambolic. And this is supposed to be the best league in the world.
I know. Yeah.
And we've got by far the worst officiating. I mean, when you go into VAR, I mean, I can see some things in the stadium, quicker than if I'm doing it. Sometimes they're offside by about like 2-3 yards, and they're taking 5 minutes to make their mind up. You think, come on, what are we doing? I don't really ever think I've been a fan of VAR. I'm quite happy to just have it scrapped. They won't now. It's too far gone. But I don't know.
Yeah, I am happy to see it scrapped. But then when I see what the refs do, because the thing is, what VAR's done is it's made the refs lazy, and it's made them think, well, I'm not going to say anything because VAR's going to look at it anyway, so I might as well not. We need the referees to actually referee. But then there's also this problem as well, which I've always said, is there's no comeuppance for the referees. There's no punishment or anything. So if they get something wrong, there's no punishment apart from getting sent to the championship. But that's not punishment, is it really? Still getting paid to referee a game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but I mean, I'm sure they're on a salary, I'd assume. So, I mean, probably don't
a year, I think, no?
I'm sure I've read something similar. So, they're not paid silly money. That's a good salary. Let's get that right. I mean, I wouldn't say no to 100k a year. Let's get that absolutely right. But with the officiating, what you quite rightly say with this VAR thing has made them lazy. What I can't ever really understand is, you've got like the wait times, things like that. Why can't they at least even show them in the stadium? They're so protected, these guys. But when you've got a controversial decision, I'm paying good money to sit in this seat. Why are you not showing it in there? All you just get is the purple screen, didn't you, with VAR check? But I'm sorry, just protecting them.
Because they know the fans will go absolutely mental. That's why.
But like you said, it's accountability. So they probably don't really care about being 100% right all of the time, purely because if they're wrong, they've got safety net upon safety net where they can just, be so protective, like, oh, it don't really matter. And then when you start getting that little mindset of oh, that's all right though, the PGMOL, whatever they are, they'll be all right. Nothing will happen here. You got morons like what's his name that goes on Sky Sports. Can't think what his name is. The ref.
Oh, the old guy.
Yeah, but like I can't think. It's
The
totally
bald-headed guy.
Yeah,
He does math. I never liked him anyway.
And so there's a ref there. Sorry, mate, but sorry, in the chat. Like, he's retired, isn't he? I can't.
I know you mean. It's the guy that sent off Shearer first, isn't it? He sent Alan Shearer off and then got all the plaudits and not all the plaudits, but he got all the back headlines in the newspapers and all that. I know who you mean. I can't think of his name
because that's what they want.
They
love it. Mike Dean. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They love it, didn't they? Because they get to be center of attention for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
you know what annoys me a little bit about it is like with this VAR and the refereeing and that. Half the time I'm say down the boozer with my mates or whatever talking, so I'm talking about the ref a lot of the time. I'm like, I don't give a fucking toss about him.
Yeah.
Like, why are we not talking about the football? It's just they've made it so there's always something to talk about. There's always controversial decisions in every single game, isn't there? There's always something to talk about. I couldn't give a toss about the ref. What I do, when you get a little reality check, I'm like sitting there thinking, why am I even talking about this geezer? Let's talk about the football. And that's what it is. They've made himself the star, isn't they? Star of the show.
Yeah. And, you're absolutely spot on. Because normally you come out. I mean, when I was going to games, normally you would come out and you go, "Oh man, how well did Pearce play today? How well did fucking Collymore play today?" and all that kind of stuff. And instead, it's all about we got fucking ripped off because of that fucking referee. He's just absolutely ridiculous. Was it Uriah Rennie that sent Shearer off? I thought it was Mike Dean. I think Mike Dean did send somebody off, didn't he? I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember you were on. He had the circle card. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I agree. Yes, Rice got yellow, tapped it away. Palmer properly kicked it. Yeah, absolutely. Just give me ref consistency is all I want, not changing the opinion every week. There are so many grey areas now and what are interpretive rules. You know what I think it is, personally, and I've been saying this for a while now as well. I think it's just a corrupt system. And I think it's a corrupt system because they're making a lot of money off the betting systems as well. That's personally what I think VAR was bought in for. I think VAR was bought in to fuck bets over because I've had a few bets fucked over from VAR, which have made no sense whatsoever. So I mean, I honestly do think the old system is actually corrupt, and I think the only way it will actually change is when every team pulls together instead of just things like, say, your situation last week with Rice, and then our situation last season with Everton. Everybody needs to pull together instead of go, it's only Forest, so fuck them. It's only Arsenal, so fuck them. Everybody, and that's how they do it, because they basically know that certain teams ain't going to stick by certain teams. Whereas as football fans, that's what we should fucking actually do,
100, mate.
He sent him off in his sub 100th game. Yeah, I remember him doing it. Talking shite wanker. Which one? Me or Aaron? You got to be a little bit more clever with who you're talking about. Cause there's two people on the stream.
Specific.
Yeah, be a bit more specific, mate. Is it me that's talking shite wanker? Actually, I will give credit on that because talking shite wanker is actually quite a good slogan. Talking shite wanker.
You should have it as his YouTube profile. Talking shite wanker.
No,
you can't please everyone, mate. What can you do, eh?
But it might be a Liverpool fan, maybe.
Oh, well, he's already a fucking knob, then, isn't he?
Could be a Liverpool fan. Well, I mean, if you are a Liverpool fan, then the best thing to do is kind of go out, steal a load of hubcaps and stuff, and you'll be all good by the morning. You'll be fine.
Burglar an old granny's house or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll be all good, mate. You'll get back to normal.
But yeah, man, yeah, it's just a tricky situation, isn't it? With this VAR, it's not going nowhere. Like I said, it's too in, isn't it? Now it's too. By the way, what had just come to my head, Yeti? What's with this automatic offside? Yeah.
Nick.
Do you know have they trialled it? Or they started doing this auto offsides yet? I mean, they might not have implemented it this season. I don't know, but it doesn't seem to have made any difference. Yeah, and they might not have done it yet. But I thought I'd ask you why we're sort of on-ish the topic.
I hadn't seen it. I mean, when you had the Euros, you had that sort of wall that came up, which I think spot on. That wall is spot on because whichever part is sticking out is obviously the offside. But today they was using the green line, which for some reason they don't use straight away. I don't know why, because surely you just use it straight away.
Yeah, we've had it where they haven't even bothered to do the lines. I can't think what game it was now. I don't think it was Man United. I think it might have been. It was Brentford. We had a game where I think they equalised. We only drew. We got a penalty, and they got a penalty. Sorry, and or we should have had a penalty. It was something like that. But what's his name? Tony was so offside, mate. I mean, he was miles offside, and they didn't even draw the lines when they checked it. They just must have just gone, yeah. And I think I don't know who was in charge of VAR at the time, but he lost his job pretty much after that because I mean, if your only job is to use your laptop or whatever they're using there, I'm sure it's probably good tech to just put a pin and line up, and you're not even doing that. I mean, what the fuck have you turned up to do then? Like your one job is to just put a line on the screen across the pitch, and you failed to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on there?
But there's also times where they don't do anything because I mean, not having a go, but last season when we played you in the first game of the season and you beat us 2-1.
You were coming back in that game.
There was an handball from Rice in the penalty area that then went to your goalkeeper, which was never actually looked at.
Yeah, I'm going to do a Wenger and go, I did not see it. But yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. If that game stayed on for about another 10 minutes, you wouldn't have lost that because you were having a right go at us towards the end.
Yeah, we was on there. Wow. Yeah,
you were playing well.
We was mega on there. We was absolutely mega on there. Didn't like the one afterwards where you came to the City ground. I think you would beat us 2-1. Was it 2-1 again?
What was that? This season was it?
Last season, the game after the one at the City ground. I think you beat us 2-1 if I remember right, and we weren't that great that game. To be fair, I mean, a lot of it that was to do with your pressing and the fact that we were sat back. Yeah. Cooper was there then. It was Cooper. And we pretty much didn't really do anything most of the game, so we got exactly what we deserved. It was just a matter of time. Whereas if we'd have actually played the same way as we did the season before, maybe we would have got something. But, that's all by the by. But the thing is, it's like with these kind of decisions, some of them are just fucking ridiculous. I mean, some of them are so fucking obvious as well, and you don't even need a replay to see them.
Yeah, well, that's another point that you made, about there possibly just being some sort of a thing sort of going on. I'm not saying it's just directed at Arsenal. I'm really not. But as a rule in there, there's probably why it takes so long for obvious and blatant VAR sort of offsides and things like that is because they're like going, oh yeah, here's $100,000 if you say no. You can't ever prove it, But it wouldn't surprise me. You can't not prove it either. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't surprise me if there's something dodgy going on. Some of the things that you see is just, borderline demented, isn't it? I mean, you don't even 100%. Need to be a football fan or a good ref to know some of these decisions, and that's what's frustrating. And like you said, no accountability whatsoever makes it even more frustrating because we're seeing him. Well, he can just be horrendous at his job, and it doesn't make a difference. If I was like that at my job, Tola, off you go.
I know that's the weird thing, isn't it?
Come, mate.
How they get away with stuff like that when you're in your job or I'm in my job. You don't get away with stuff like that. You make a mistake, you pay for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the biggest issues with the referees. They never pay for anything apart from getting sent down to the championship and I think being on less money or something like that. But it's only like for one game. It's not like a major thing, is it?
Not even a slap on the wrist, really, is it? It
Mm,
just isn't. I mean, they probably prefer the championship, I would have thought, because there's no VAR in there, is there? So,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, they
exactly.
might even prefer that. They probably see it as a treat. They probably look at the Premier League game and go, do you know what? I'm going to be absolutely fucking shit in this game because I fancy going
Mm,
and doing a little bit of Huddersfield v QPR or something,
yeah. Night, Mama. Take care. Love. Big love, as always. You know that. And I hope you've had a great night as well. Hope your anniversary's gone well and everything's gone good. And
Oh,
I'll see
lovely.
you for the Newcastle game tomorrow. We'll have a watch along for that. Si says it's only job you can do badly and still get a contract extension. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's fucking mental. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Why
Mad
have
and
you got
sad.
to do any better if you're not going to get punished for not doing well?
Well, we give Pep Guardiola wages to a manager that ain't won nothing in 4 years to give him another 3 years. That
Mm,
sells you everything, doesn't it?
does.
Tells you everything. What if you're going to give the geezer an extension or you're thinking about it? That's fine. Do it at the end of the season. Own it.
Mm,
Like there's hardly a queue. Like if there was every manager in world football, every club, sorry, in world football, banging on Arsenal's door and going, "Look, we want to have your manager." I could probably understand them going, "Yeah, do you know what?
yeah, yeah.
3 years. There you go, mate. Who's knocking?
Right after the window as well,
Yeah,
pretty much.
when's an article? I mean, most of them are bollocks anyway. But when's any bit of news where you've said, "Oh, Madrid want Mikel Arteta or PSG or but no one does." I haven't read one. Like four
Mm,
years, 4.5 years. Do you know
I've
why?
heard, I've
Because
heard
these big
top
clubs
gooners
want
saying
the
it.
winner. Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, they read these weird little articles by geezers who ain't fucking got a Scooby Doo. Do you know what I mean? Or their intention is to say the right thing to get recognition from the club, so that it's not
yeah,
even
yeah.
what they actually think; it's just what they should write, sort of thing. And that's a load of bollocks anyway. I'll never
Well, I
agree.
mean, apparently he's the best new coach going at the moment. He's actually the prodigy. He's actually the golden child. I mean, I don't know where they see that, and to me, that's what always makes me question their ball knowledge. Because if you actually watch the game, this guy's got no tactical nous whatsoever. He's
Nope.
basically this way, and when that way don't work, it just goes to shit. If that way works and you score, then yes, you can go the conservative way and wait for a counter and keep scoring on teams from there. But if your first part don't work, you've got to have something else, and you haven't.
Plan B.
You never
Yeah.
have.
And never will under this sort of setup. It's as
No.
simple as that. You're going into a season where you think, you know what, we might be able to take Man City on this year, and you're making the squad weaker. I think we
Mhm.
earned 20 mil or something like that this year
Yeah.
from the South. And back to sort of the PSR thing, one of the annoying things about this year is one, like you said, we've got the money. We're an absolute massive club. We now don't have the Europa League season as part of our books, or the season
Mm,
that we didn't even get Europe. So
yeah.
last sort of years that the PSR will actually account for, we've had two or three Champions League seasons in a row. We've
Mm,
got a new Adidas deal with more money, obviously. Fly Emirates, same, more money. We've sold our souls to the training centre and called that sober realty, because you just sell everything now, don't you? So we've got more money here. We've got money coming in left, right, and centre. Now we're making profits. I know we have spent some over the last couple of years, but come on now. Like, our books are as healthy as they've probably been in the last 20 years.
mm,
We're getting more money than we've ever had done. I mean, the telly
yeah.
just on their own. So how's you've got fans in the club, like we were saying, it's always full the stadium, and everyone's got an Arsenal bag with hundreds of quid's worth of crap in it. Like, money, mate. So why are we not spending it? 20.
That's what I don't understand. I mean, you're making money left, right, and centre, but not spending any. I get that that's how you get rich, but the thing is, it just doesn't make any sense to me, because if you want to keep things going, but then again, it does, because then I look at your fan base and I look at how happy they are with mediocre and not doing anything and coming second every season and all this, that, and the other. So I kind of understand it from a business person's perspective. He's winning because his customers are happy with what he's serving up at whatever less price it's costing. Look, I can't fault the owners. I mean, I know a lot of Arsenal fans say it's the owners' fault and all this. I can't fault the owners at all, because the amount of money they've actually put in, you're nearly up to $1 billion or whatever. So I mean, I can't fault them. They have actually put the money forward. I'd have to fault like Edu, and I saw an interview the other day from Edu, and he was saying that we find a player and then we put them to Mikel. So it's not actually Mikel that's picking the players; it's actually Edu. And when he was saying it, he was saying that all these things happen, and then we approach Mikel. Now that to me just seems weird, because back in the day, like Alex Ferguson or Cloughy or whatever, even Pep, I would say, they say, I want this player, I want that player, I want the other player, So is it like, but then if you hear that, does it all take it off Arteta and put it on to somebody else? To be honest, I don't know what's going off at your club. I think the fact that you seem happy to just be nearly boys is really fucking strange, because it's not something I've ever understood. Man United don't want to be nearly boys, but it's just the way it's going. And, they want to do things massively better. Sai says, I still believe Ivan Toney 3 years ago would have got Arsenal at least one title by now. Christ, a decent striker last Christmas could have got one. Mate, I tell you what, and I said it for a while now, I think Toney was the final piece of the puzzle. But they didn't go there. I think he would have asked for too much money from going over there. I think he's all about the dosh and all that kind of stuff. Me personally, I think he should be kicked out of the game for doing the betting, to be honest, because I think that should be past your footballing contract. You've got a chance to do something in your life and be something, and then you break the rule by betting and stuff like that. I think you should be booted from football. Sorry, that'd mean Tonali as well, but that's what I think.
Yeah, look, the thing is as well about it is it's unnecessary. I mean, I don't really know the exact ins and outs of it, so I'm absolutely well and truly not going to pretend so. But it's so avoidable, ain't it? Just don't bet. I mean,
exactly.
It's not sort of rocket science, is it? Really?
It's mad. It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just read this. The majority of Arsenal fans need to stop this top four as a success. Ireland ain't going nowhere, though. So there's also that. Big up to Dal. How you doing, bro? Hope you're well, matey. And 2:40 p.m. 4 beers in. Nice, mate. Nice. I'm about 4 or 5 in now, to be honest. But yeah, I don't get. I find it really sort of confusing, because I can see like what you're on the edge of and what you're on the edge of doing, and you're just not doing it. It's really weird to me, because I know for a fact if we get to the position that you're in, and you've got to take into account, when I hear you guys going on, oh, I'm sick of this, I've fucking had enough of this, getting second every season and being in the Champions League. Obviously, me and probably Sai as well, we're sat there thinking, fucking hell, I wish I was in that situation.
Yeah. Look, man, you quite rightly put it. It's frustrating, and as we've sort of said, we are close to something proper. but our asses fell out massively, massive for whatever reason. I don't really know. We have just not attacked this transfer window, and again, it's sort of frustrating because look how long it was taking. It was very evident early on we needed to sell to buy, and we was taking 8 weeks, 9 weeks to sign 2 players, both of whom have said they only want to join Arsenal. Both aren't really asking for astronomical wages. Let's get that right. One of them's only got a year left on his deal. What are we doing? Like, it's embarrassing, really, when you actually sit and think about it. Like,
it is.
You know, you need to buy to sell, but you sell ridiculously slow, and you leave things to the last sort of time, and it's just an embarrassment.
Ridiculous.
The whole thing from top to bottom. Like it's top to. Sorry, I skipped then. I don't know. Yeah, the whole thing's embarrassing from top to bottom. I don't really know what Edu's really doing. If I'm being honest, he started the window by giving it the absolute Barry McGuigan, saying, "Oh yeah, you know, I've got an 188-page dossier on my desk ready to read about players." And then 75% of the window in, he's like, "Yeah, trust me, by the end of the window, you will not be disappointed." And yeah, I weren't disappointed. I was fucking embarrassed. Absolutely embarrassed.
That is just
that's
ridiculous.
Doing? Like
that's what
you know,
that's the same thing as like Mark Arthur did to us, where we're serious about promotion. Are you? You know, that's the same thing. Because I remember that now. I forgot that, but yeah, he did say you won't be disappointed. But
yeah. We love all these little one-liners, mate. This is the problem we've got. Even Gazidis, even then, you know, this is about 10 or so years ago, and he's going on about we will compete with Bayern Munich. Never have competed with Bayern Munich since. You know, you've got Josh Kroenke, the son of Stan, who can give a toss about the club. So we're his little toy, his plaything until he gets bored. You be surprised or be excited. All these little cute one-liners that you know, you lob your fishing rod out and all these little moron gooners come in. All the top ones are all just completely hooked on it. They're like, "Oh, be excited. Oh, yeah, be excited." Haven't won anything since any of that. But the problem is we are getting better every year, or we're making progress. You don't win anything. There's no progress. I'm sorry. That's right. You don't won anything. But granted, maybe we are in a slightly better sort of place or a better place player-wise, fine. But I'm not going to in 10 years' time, or when I'm talking to my mates tomorrow about Tottenham and things like that, I'm not going to go, "Yeah, but do you know what? We were nearly good in 2022 to 24. We were nearly good, mate."
Yeah.
You're just going to go, "One absolutely fuck all."
Yeah. Of course you are. I mean, your last 2 seasons, you know, you finished second. They don't mean shit now.
Yeah. This period will
Nobody's going to remember that.
Like that. In 10 years' time, like I said, I will absolutely look back and think, "Wow, we ballsed up that window. We had a great opportunity to really attack City and make them go, wow, shit, these lot mean business here." And they're laughing at us, mate. I can tell you that for an absolute fact. Man City must be there and going, "Look at these." And I'll include Liverpool in it. Like, look at them. They're knocking on the door, maybe, of challenging us, and they have done absolutely nothing. Arsenal bought another defender and an injured midfielder who's nowhere near as good as their bench midfielders. And they've just re-signed Gundogan, who was a significantly better signing than anyone we signed this summer. There you go. They massively improved. Savinho, Doku is absolutely horrendous as a footballer. They've improved 100%. They haven't done anything. They spent 17 million.
I'll tell you another thing as well. That you probably will be a bit of a surprise as well. Our last 2 seasons, we will remember. Because your last 2 seasons you won't, but our last 2 seasons we will, because we escaped the drop.
Yeah.
And that is where we built from. So that'll be always something that we remember. You finish second, and that won't be remembered. And a team like yours, you should have something to even like say. I mean, I find it. I mean, yeah, look, you want to win every single thing that you want, everything that you go into, and stuff like that. But even if you sort of went a season and won, say this season you won the Coca-Cola Cup or wherever it's called now, Carabao Cup, and the FA Cup, yeah, and you finished second, would it still be a memorable season?
Well, I mean, probably personally, if we was to win a trophy, obviously because I'll be able to go. So that's what we're here for, to see armpits lifting a bit silver. So I would remember. Well, actually, then let me change. I'd remember the Carabao Cup campaign, but I wouldn't remember really the season. It'd just be, oh, that year we won the Carabao Cup, didn't we? Because it's forgettable. And the point I'll back it up with is 1998 we won a double, yeah, under Wenger. In 2002, I don't remember, or I do, but I never talk about 1999, 2000, or 2001. Why? Because we done fuck all in them 3 years. Absolutely none. We finished second to Manchester United. We got knocked out in the FA Cup by Man United. The old Giggsy goal, obviously. 2000, I don't think we've really done anything. In 2001 was the Michael Owen final where they beat us in there. Who talks about that? I don't care about them 3 years. Couldn't give a toss about them. I care about 1998. They're my reference points. In 2002, the 3 years in the middle were just a waste of time. Didn't win anything. Who cares?
Yeah, I agree. Just cover this from Bargav. An interesting discussion. Get why gambling is banned for insider reasons. Don't think it's the worst crime in the world, though. Well, it don't matter whether it's the worst crime in the world. I mean, they're put in a position where they're earning a hell of a lot of money, and it's part of their contracts that they don't actually do that. So if they do that, then pretty much it's a breach of contract. So, they know what the situation is and they're not allowed to do it. So, yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest crime in the world. I mean, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how big the crime is. It's a crime and they shouldn't be doing it. And they should probably be looked at in another sense as well, because if you're breaking contracts, it's kind of fraud as well. Bargab, for me, the rules is the rules, and it wasn't a little thing either or a one-off. Yeah, I get that. Just don't know about banning players for years. I'd ban them all together. If you're in a job and you're not allowed, and you in your contract says you're not allowed to punch the guy next to you or whatever like that. If you punch the guy next to you, that's it. You're out of a job. So why is it any different for a footballer? Don't get that, mate. They're not untouchable. I mean, they are seen as untouchable because, I mean, some of them do good drinking and driving and stuff like that and get away with it scot-free. You can never allow somebody that kind of thing because that can go so far. What's next? Can they murder people and just get away with that because they're footballers?
Yeah.
I never have that.
I wonder as well, Yeti, if it's sort of one of them, and I don't know this for facts, I'm just talking off the top of my head, like whether, obviously footballers have done silly things in the past, like the betting, maybe 5 years ago when it weren't such high profile because people weren't being banned for years or seasons, maybe it was just a progressive thing, like maybe there were footballers that were being banned by getting a slap on the wrist, and now we're only noticing it because they're basically looking at this and going, right, we need to actually stop this. And how do you stop it? By banning them for lengths of time. And it's probably is just a gradual progression. Whereas now, you see it with Tonali, you see it with Tony. It might not be that long before, if players keep taking the piss, they end up getting 2-year bans. And then maybe in 5 years' time, there might be an 8-year ban. And let's get it right. Players' career
but you
20 years.
The thing is, mate, you can bet on the horses. That's not against your contract or anything like that. You're actually betting on matches that you're playing in.
Avoidable.
Exactly. That's where the problem is. That's where the problem is. You're actually betting on matches you're actually taking part in.
Yeah.
So 100%. That ain't right.
You're in a privileged position of information and whatnot, and even sometimes being able to directly affect it. Yes, it isn't the worst thing in the world, no, but also it's not good, is it, either?
No, of course it's not.
And you don't want to see it.
Not.
You don't want to see it. These decisions or something like that, the players might, or say it was a goalie, like the Grobler old thing, it cost your club a title, maybe.
Of course it could, yeah.
he wants a couple more quid. And why do it now when you're on so much dough now anyway?
Have a bet that it's going to be a corner in the 79th minute. And make sure there's a corner in the 79th minute.
Directly affectable. Exactly.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean?
So
Get
you
yourself
can't.
A yellow card. Make a
It
poor slide
doesn't
challenge.
matter. Doesn't matter how big the crime is. The fact is, and I wouldn't say crime, but it is against your contract on what you sign up for a club when you play for a club. So you shouldn't be doing it. So if you're doing it, then you should forfeit what you get in your life, which being a footballer is a massive thing. It's a massive privilege thing. If you take the piss on that and you break the rules, then you should get dealt with the way I would do if I'm working for DPD and I do something wrong, or you would do if you're doing your job and you do something wrong out of contract. You won't get like, oh, well, you know what? You're a good worker, so we'll keep you on anyway. You won't get that. So why should footballers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You'd be gone, wouldn't you, in seconds. Let's get that right. Like, I can get like with you saying ban them instantly. Like, it would depend for me, if you are, say, if you're betting on something, you are directly involved in that. And I know I said about privileged position as well. There would be some sort of like barometers as to how severely punished, but I would, if it was, say, like a tiny little bet that you had nothing to do with, like say it was you're an Everton player and you're betting on another team, you still would be able to possibly know information. So I probably wouldn't ban.
Oh yeah, I mean that's different. That's different.
But and when you're directly involved in the game, I mean it's just stupid, isn't it? And I can sort of get on board with heavy punishments because they know the rules. These geezers ain't stupid. Let's get it right. They're not stupid men we're talking about.
And the thing is, they're not just putting a pound on it like me or you would.
Yeah.
They're putting a shitload of fucking money on it and getting a shitload of fucking winnings on it.
Yeah. And for how many people? Because they're probably telling their mate.
That to be a case.
Yeah. They're probably telling their mum, their dad. Yeah, go on, mate. Yeah. You crack on, fella. Yes, it's sort of it's a madness. And like I said, the thing is, it's so avoidable. Like, if you're in that position as a footballer and you're breaking your contract, which, let's get it right and all, it's probably quite a good contract you're on, especially when we're talking about Premier League players like your Tonys, your Tonali's. They're not on mug money, are they? Let's get it right. Even like Tony, I think he's on like 20 grand a week. Mate, that's not bad money, is it? Let's get it right, people. It's so avoidable. I can't really get on board with why you do that. Do you know what? Retire at 35 or whatever and get fat and then start betting on the football. Do you know what I mean? Why did you sort of have to do it? And like I said earlier, you've got a career which spans usually, I know it's getting longer and longer longevity because of fitness and everything like that, but footballer's career, say, is about 20-ish sort of years. Why would you want to get banned for a year or two? Especially when you're young and in your prime, you might never get the opportunity to earn so much money. You might go at Newcastle, where Tonali did, and be paid a lot of money. Your career might go massively backwards. You might find yourself playing in the Championship or a really low level team in Italy again if you want to go back there. And all of a sudden, you're earning significantly less. Why not just avoid it? Why do it? It's baffling. Yeah, I can never really wrap my head around why these footballers do it, and more to the point, why they think they can get away with it. And that's why we'll always see these bans, and they'll get bigger. They'll get bigger and bigger every single year, these bans, because they'll need to start making a point. And if a year sitting on your backside still being paid 20 grand a week or 40 grand a week or 60 grand a week, whatever they're on, it's what a dream. You ain't even got to go to work. You're just sitting on your backside betting. Things like that have got to get out of the game, I think. I don't know if all of you guys agree with me or not, but yeah. So what we got in the chat here? Let's have a little chat with Si. Bet on anything these days. Just don't bet any football. That way, it's good, mate. I don't know what you're like with betting, but I am absolutely horrendous. That's why I don't even bother doing it. I'm one of them. I fall into the same trap, Si, yeah, where I'll do all the 3 o'clock kickoffs and then I'll bet on 12:45 and then the 12:45 kickoff always loses and it's just a fucking waste of time. And I don't know why I don't learn. I do it every single time, mate. It's ridiculous. These guys. Yeah, mate, that's what it is. The thing is you're giving teenagers now, aren't you, Si, a lot of money. You're giving them a lot of money from a very young age. You know, they're millionaires. They're extremely young, wealthy teenagers, and there's no real sort of protection from, you know, the fact that you are very vulnerable, naive young man. Don't fucking piss around. And that's why I think a lot of it, they're sort of getting caught, you know. It's just stupid young rich kids who've not really got anyone guiding them whatsoever, making a lot of these mistakes. I know Tony technically isn't young, is he? You know, he was probably 27 or something like that, maybe.
They're probably doing it over there.
But yeah, you do 20 quid a week, Si. Yeah, honestly, I don't even bother anymore, mate. I am an absolute shambles when it comes to it.
Yeah, I don't bother. Not that. I won 120 quid once, I think, and that was pretty much all I ever won, to be fair. And there was one that I had on where it was like 600 to 1, I think it was. It was actually an Arsenal Man City game. It was in a cup. And basically, I had Delph to get sent off, and I had El Neni to get sent off as well. And there was other things as well, obviously. But the other things that actually happened, that actually done, and I was like, fucking hell, I could be in for 600 quid here. Delph got sent off, so I was like, fucking hell, and El Neni was on a yellow card. And this is why I believe that it is corrupt, because basically El Neni went in for 2 horrendous fucking tackles. He actually gave a penalty away, yeah, and he did not get that second yellow for the red, which would have got me 600 quid. And I just thought that just makes no fucking sense, because the way he went in as well. I think Wenger was manager then when that happened. It was shocking, mate. There's no way. He should definitely have got a red.
I can't think of the game off the top of my head, but yeah, I mean, usually when you're on a yellow and you give away a pen, was that, I don't know whether this law applies to just the keepers now off the top of my head, but I think it might just be the keepers now. Do you remember, is it the double jeopardy or something like that, where if you're on a yellow and give away a penalty, they don't give you they don't send you off.
Yeah, it's dependable on what they think. So a lot of the time you don't get a yellow if you give away a penalty. It's just down to the way the ref thinks that the challenge and stuff like that. But the thing is, this was before that. So it should have been a fucking red card, but anyway,
yeah, definitely 100%. Yeah, well, that's that.
And as soon as I seen that, I was just like, "There's no way." And then I saw like VAR was coming, and I thought, "Well, there's no point betting now, because I've seen them do it so many times. When Liverpool won the league, there was a Crystal Palace tackle on Salah. No way was it a penalty. It was a dive, clear fucking dive, and they still gave it him." And that made him draw the game and stay in there.
I can remember. I'm sure I can remember what it was. I can't visually remember it, but I can remember having conversations about it and people saying, "Did you see that crap they got given?" So I'm sure that was the year where I think they just got absolutely loved by VAR, didn't they? I think they were just you know, when you just get the rub of the green. I mean, they was absolutely getting everything, weren't they? Sometimes you need things to go for you, but I mean, you don't want it to be retarded decisions, do you? Do you know what I mean?
No. I don't know. I think some clubs don't really mind that. I don't think some clubs mind actually taking a dive and, you know, getting away with it and stuff like that, personally. I mean, I'll be honest, I did see it a few times with my club today. I don't respect it. Never will respect it, you know, because I mean, I even said towards the end of the game, you know, play for the time. and all that. Playing for the time, I'm okay with. Dropping down on your horse, I just don't like it, to be honest. I mean, I said at the time, oh, we're doing the Arsenal dark horse now. And it's like, it's not something I respect. It's something I've brought up when I've been at a Forest game. I think it was, I can't remember the player's name now. And I said, no, he dived. And I was like arguing and nearly fighting with most of them in the crowd at the time. And I was like, well, I'm going to call it the way I see it. I don't care. I'm not going to just go, oh, no, it's not a dive because it's my club. I don't give a fuck. I don't like it in the game. I don't like it.
100%. Like, and in my stadium, where I sit in my season ticket, we've got like a group of people around that sat there. I mean, I've been there for a few years, so we obviously have got familiar with people. And sometimes I'll get looked at or something like that where we've gone down easy and I'll go, get the fuck up. What are you laying on the floor for? And everyone's looking at me and like, yeah, but it's us. I'm like, yeah, but I don't care. I don't like it. Like, get up. You're a fully grown man. What are you doing televised to millions of people? Just get up. I've got no time for it. It's just, and this will always be a part of football now, and football's never going to be like it was 80s, 90s, where you could get away with a few bits, have some proper choppy tackles going.
They needed to stamp it out straight away. I said straight away, as soon as somebody dives, just give them a red card. And you'll stamp it out like straight away. Now, I'm not saying that people didn't used to do that. I mean, you probably wouldn't have noticed it that much because you wouldn't have had the cameras that close up to it, so you wouldn't have seen it. But I mean, one of the things I remember, going against the Forest fans, was when I was in Trent End and Lee Trundle played for Swansea. Great, really good player, really good technical player. I think he ended up signing for Everton at some point. And basically, he was playing really well, and I just turned around and went, Lee Trundle, you're a fucking wanker. And this guy turned around and says, he's one of the best players in the league. Do you know what you're talking about? And I just went, does he play for Forest? No. So he's a fucking wanker.
But what did he do? Oh, sorry. Sorry. But he didn't know. It's because you know what? People like that make these weird little comments usually expect no one to reply. So when you reply with a bit of chest, they don't know what to say. They're almost half shell-shocked. Like they can't believe you're disagreeing with their little opinion. Well, if you've got one, I've got one. No different. Yours ain't better than mine. Mine's just mine. And I couldn't give a fuck about yours, mate.
100%.
You give a fuck about mine because you're
everybody has an opinion, man. Everyone has an opinion.
Man. Isn't it?
Right, anyway, mate, we've gone about 2 hours, 2 hours, 20 minutes. Good for you, Aaron, that, but it's us attitude. It's what kept it in the game. If we all stood up, it'd be different. Yeah, of course it would. And that's probably the biggest thing. Right. Anyway, guys, thank you, everybody who's been in here. Aaron has got a fucking show coming tomorrow. He's over there. No, he ain't over there. You'll get used to that eventually as well. You're better than me. I've been doing it for ages.
Flip the camera around.
And so basically, make sure you go and follow Aaron X-Rated. And do you want to shout your channel out and what's coming up tomorrow, bro?
Yeah, so I'm doing an Arsenal Spurs North London reaction show. It's going to be at 6 o'clock. I'm debating whether or not to do a cheeky little player ratings video, but like a pre-record straight after the game, and then maybe throw it in after. I don't know. Maybe I'll have a little thought maybe tomorrow, see how I feel. But absolutely, I'll be live with Jez 6 o'clock. Hopefully, it's going to be a nice stream. I really hope so. I really hope I'm not miserable and moody because I'm sure you lot want to see me with a little smile on my face rather than just whinging at you for about an hour. So we'll only tell at 6 o'clock, won't we? But if we don't win, we're not going to hold much back. Let's get that right, people.
Yeah,
it's going to be let out.
So you shouldn't. But if they do lose, then the show will probably be off, guys, because you know what these Arsenal fans are like.
Yeah,
so make sure you go into that. Aaron's an awesome guy. We'll have to sort out a show, mate, between the two of us. We'll come up with a name or something like that. Do it in the week or something on a certain day. you know, where we have a channel, have a show together, because it's been awesome chatting to you and having a laugh with you and stuff like that. And I wish you all the best with your channel. Obviously, you're going to smash it, mate. I can already see that. You're going to absolutely smash it. So, yeah. So, keep it real. Keep it Yeti. Make sure you and keep it real, keep it Yeti, and keep it real, keep it Aaron, because he's real as well. So, this is the kind of people we need on these kind of platforms, you know. So, make sure you follow him and give him some love. And, yeah, and just one more thing. Spurs 2, Arsenal 0. And and cheers, guys. Anyway, thank you for everyone who supports. It means a hell of a lot. And we are out, guys. So
Pleasure.
see you later.
Thank you. Cheers,
see
man.
you guys.